Yes. And you'll have to lose weight.
The chair.
This meeting of the Standing Finance Committee will resume. We are at Head 42, the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. Head 42, Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, $2,283,348,980. I will now invite the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government to make a brief opening statement, not exceeding 5 minutes. Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and good morning to all. As one of the fundamental agencies providing essential services to the citizens and contributing to the overall development of our country, it is my privilege to report to this Standing Finance Committee and the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago on the progress made by the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. Almost 2 years ago, I was afforded the opportunity to serve in the capacity of Minister of Rural Development and Local Government. It has not been an easy road. However, with the unwavering support and dedication of our permanent secretaries, deputy permanent secretaries, all mayors, all chairmen, all aldermen, councillors, public servants, and all the citizens, we were able to persevere despite the challenges which we encountered last year. We at the ministry continue to work diligently to ensure all citizens of our beloved country, especially those residing in rural communities, receive the goods and services required to live a comfortable and rewarding life. Local government remains a catalyst to represent and protect the everyday interests and the needs of all citizens. Each person, whether you reside in an urban or rural area, is directly impacted by local government, be it through garbage collection and sanitation, disaster management, development of recreational facilities, clearing of minor drains or water courses, and the list continues. We at the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government understand the importance of being equipped at all times and remain dedicated to delivering good governance and service excellence. We welcome this democratic process, which opens the floor for scrutiny and recommendation as we move forward into the new fiscal year. Through this framework and the cooperation of all, the Ministry is happy to report that through head office and the municipal corporations, we have completed over 1,000 projects for this financial year under the Public Sector Investment Program. Madam Chairman, I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $2,283,348,980 for Head 42, Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government stand part of the schedule. Honorable members, the sum of $2,283,348,980 for Head 42, Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government is comprised of monies proposed for expenditure under the following subheads and items to be found in the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure, the draft estimates of revenue and expenditure of the statutory boards and similar bodies and of the Tobago House of Assembly, and the draft estimates of the development program. We shall now proceed to consider the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. We are at page 261.
On page 260, or an overall statement, question?
Well, the only thing is that any question I would think that you would ask on the overall statement, the details of it would be in here, so that if one has to answer, I would expect one would have to jump in one of these pages here, which may not be in accordance with the sequential order.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Member for Faizabad.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning. Minister, just regards to line item 01, salaries and cost of living allowance. Can you indicate to us the number of employees, the establishment in the ministry and together with the vacancies?
At head office, we have the total amount of positions is 1,934 permanent staff, daily paid staff 1,791.
And the vacancies as well, if possible.
Sorry, we have the contract positions, which is 346.
Okay.
Head office is 67 and regional corporations is 279.
And can you tell us the vacancies?
Total number of vacant positions is 1,706.
Okay.
Member for Tabaki.
So these figures you're calling, 1934, 1791, daily and so on, does that exclude the regional corporations?
Include.
Huh?
Including regional.
Include?
Yes.
So that the 1,791 daily paid workers, right? That is over the 14 regional corporations?
Yes.
Can't be.
Yeah, 1,709. 10,000, sorry. 10,792.
Okay.
Thanks for pointing it out.
That's 10,791. Did it?
Member for Kamutu-Mansinala.
Madam Chair, Honorable Minister, line item 14, how many cabinet appointed committees
14?
falls under your ministry?
None. No. None at present.
Okay. So this figure here is representative of committees that you intend to establish or supposed to be established but have not been done as yet?
This is in case we need any technical committee in this fiscal year coming up.
Member for Point Pierre.
No, ma'am, it's okay.
Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases.
On the other page. The other page, page 262, it continues there.
Okay, so what I'd say to members is, I realize this is day 5 and we may all be, weathered.
No, it's
So
just...
no, I am going to allow Member for Tabakit for us to revert, but I hope that we can all summons, this trying to move at the pace we've already established. So Member for Tabakit, we had subhead 02, goods and services.
Contract employment, number 16. There's a substantial sum of money involved in contract employment. I would like to know what kinds of officers occupy these positions of contract employment and where, whether it's regional corporation or head office.
Okay. 338 contract positions at head office. 282. No, sorry. 338 in total. 282 at the corporation, 56 at the head office.
Right. And at the corporation, Minister, what positions do they occupy? What kind of positions these contract occupy people in?
They operate the corporate secretary, financial officers, principal medical officer, engineering and survey officer, disaster coordinator, disaster field officers, communications technicians in disaster management unit, public health officers, litter wardens.
Right. The cadre of professional people, for example, your corporate secretary, financial officer, that's what you call them now still, financial officer, or chief financial officer,
Yes.
principal medical director. Those three in particular, and in the engineer position, are all those vacancies filled at all of the corporations, or are there still vacancies?
Well, at the corporate secretary, according to the records I have here, there's one vacant position. Financial officer, there are 7 vacant positions. Principal medical officer, 4 vacant positions. An engineer and survey officer, there are no vacant positions.
Okay. So I'm concerned about the financial officers and the principal medical officer. That 4 of the corporations at this point in time do not have principal medical officers. If I'm wrong in my assumption, tell me. And 7 do not have financial officers. That's 50% of your corporations do not have chief financial officers. May I ask, what is the difficulty in recruiting chief financial officers and as well principal medical officers?
Honorable Member, you have asked.
The first thing I wanted to ask, are we under 16? Is this contract employment?
Yes.
And these are contract employees?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and this is for head office? Or
And
we're talking
regional
about regional corporations?
Regional corporation.
All right, so if we're looking at regional corporations,
No, but ma'am, these people are hired by the head office and paid by the head office.
yeah, but in terms of numbers, in terms of the numbers of officers, do we have a book that deals with that?
Well, I could bring this to a closure, Madam Chairman, by letting you know and the member know that today we are having interviews for the financial officers taking place today.
Very good.
And are taking place right now, I should say.
Yeah.
And the medical officers, they are being shortlisted right now also.
Speaker, Madam Chairman, if I may, what we're talking about here is the head office. Our other book on statutory boards and similar bodies and the Tobago House of Assembly gives details of the various positions that my colleague from Tabakit is asking about. So I don't know if we would want to give all of the information here or if we'll wait until we go to the other book so that the minister, if the member still needs that very specific information, will wait for that. Because this line item does not deal with all the corporations. So is the member for Tabakit going to wait? Which is what I would like to suggest.
Member of Tabakit has no choice. The chairman has ruled.
Okay, so, member for Faisalabad. Okay.
That's
So-
why you have line items, so that you could ask the question in relation to a line item.
Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases, item 001, general administration, page 263. Member for Point Appeal.
We under other transfers as yet, ma'am, on page 263?
We are the minor
Oh,
equipment.
sorry, okay.
Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies, page 263. Item 001, regional bodies. Item, yeah, but we under 001, regional bodies.
Ma'am, they go, confused.
Item 002, Commonwealth bodies. Yes, please, Member for Tabaki.
Why, Mr. Minister, under item 01, we are not contributing to the Commonwealth Local Government Forum? Being a member of the Commonwealth.
Honorable Member, at the mid-year review, we intend to request funding for this particular item 01.
Okay.
Item 009, other transfers. Member for Point Appeal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, line item 04, Community-Based Environmental Protection Enhancement Program. For your 2019 estimate, you have a decrease from 2018 of $72 million. Given what transpired in 2018 with levies being placed on the CPEP company due to outstanding payments by contractors, in a general statement, is this $72 million decrease sufficient to meet your outstanding payments to owed to contractors previously in the past couple of years?
You're referring specifically to the health sector initiative?
Today, line item 04, CPEP.
Yes. We'll need to get additional funding.
So at some point in time in midterm review, we'll come back for more funding.
I'm being guided here, member, and we would not be needing any additional payments.
Jump in.
Member for Caroni Central.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Chair, through you to the Minister, 03. I see no allocation for TT Connect Service Centers 2019.
Okay,
Does it mean that what had to be done was already done in 2018, or that this program is no longer being pursued?
Honorable Member, this TT Connect has now been moved to the Ministry of Public Administration.
Okay, but I thought that might have to do with decentralization of services and access and so on for people in the community, in the local government context.
May I? Member, as the Minister of Public Administration said yesterday, the project is now under public administration and it is of a similar nature. It does not mean that because it's no longer under local government that it will not be disseminated throughout the country through the local government bodies.
Will local government have a role, though?
Well, insofar as we will need to use the regional corporations, but the administration will be at the Ministry of Public Administration. The payments and so on will come from public administration. As you well know, public administration also deals with TAT and so on. So public administration, which also has the IT Connect function, will be dealing with all of those kinds of connectivity issues. So it has not changed its scope, but it's just that we thought it would be more focused if we sent it to public administration.
Okay, so it's now a centralized operation through public administration, but, but diffused because it is basically an methodology.
Yes.
Is
but
that correct?
It is in the same way that under the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, it was centralized in that ministry. But it was diffused throughout the regional corporations. It's just that public administration has the
Ownership.
responsibility for e-government and all of those issues. So we felt it was a better fit at the Ministry of Public Administration.
Okay.
Member for Tabaki.
Minister, on 04, the CPEP program, you have reduced the budget by 16%. How many workers are going to be affected, CPEP workers are going to be affected by that reduction in 16% of your budget?
Okay, remember, it is not actually a decrease. From last fiscal year, we got an increase to deal with the arrears. There's an increase. Right?
Yeah, but that was to deal with the arrears.
Yes.
But, okay, how many employees are now being facilitated with this budget in 2019? How many employees? How many CPEP workers are going to be there?
Approximately 8,000.
8,000.
Yeah.
How many contractors are going to be employed in 2019?
Approximately 260.
260. Yeah. So the average number of workers per contractor, if you divide that, you'll get it. About three
teams.
Sorry?
3 teams.
3 teams, that's 30 workers.
Across the board.
Right. What do you pay? This 375 million here, right? Can you clarify for me? Is this amount just the wages for the CPEP workers, or also what you pay the contractors in terms of their management fees?
It includes everything.
Includes everything. How much does a contractor get out of this for a worker? And what is the overhead that the contractors get per worker? Because you pay that separately.
I remember, I would have to provide that for you.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Minister, the only reason I ask that is that there are a lot of contractors who complain they haven't got their management fees, but those are the very contractors also who seem not to have paid some of their NIS and so on behalf of the workers. Okay. So I want to know exactly what are they getting, because when employees of CPEP come to my office as a member of parliament and say, look, I've gone to NIS and my money has not been paid, I want to know whether they got their money. So I think it's very important for the 8,000 CPEP workers to also know what they get, or who pays the NIS or who doesn't pay the NIS and what have you.
Okay. Pardon? Yes. Yeah. I'll provide it.
But that is an easy figure.
But for information, I remember, as in non-compliant contractors were terminated.
Yes, and I agree with that. Terminate them. You cannot take people's NIS money and not paid. But is the NIS paid by the contractor or paid by CPEP directly?
It is paid by CPEP through the contractor.
So just to clarify, so NIS, so the CPEP company gives that money as part of the management fee to the contractor. And the contractor then submits that to the NIS in terms of his employer portion and the employee portion.
Yes.
Why can't you, in order to protect the interests of the employees, simply deduct both at the level of CPEP and submit it to the NIS?
Remember what you are saying. Yeah. We could work with it.
It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, it's a suggestion. And you always have good suggestions for me. I want to go along with what I'm being guided with
Yeah, sure,
by the
sure,
chairman.
sure.
And the general manager said it is on the onus of the contractor to pay. Sure, Ms. Madam.
Thank you. Member, as you well know.
No,
it
I
is
don't well
part-
know. I wouldn't be asking.
Because it was the same thing under your administration. It is part of the contract. It is part of the contractual arrangement between the CPEP company and.
Okay, if it was the same thing, ma'am, with due respect.
And as a matter of fact, under your administration was the time that most of the contractors did not pay those
And if they didn't pay,
obligations. Yes, it was during
no, but
that
I want
time.
a study of that. If it was the same thing,
that is why they had to be dismissed.
Madam Chair, if it's the same thing, why is so difficult for you to tell me here and now what a contractor gets per head of
Because
worker?
the minister does not have.
You mean to say the general manager cannot point it to him? Why are you hiding it?
Okay, members,
Ma'am.
members, I understand the passion we have. Could we, okay, so we all can't speak at the same time. Honorable Minister, do you have the information that the members requested?
And the members, I will provide the information. Just as I did last year when I came here first, I didn't have some answer.
And member, for Couva South, all of us don't have the fulsome baritone voice that you have. But while I understand your ability to fill the chamber, I hope you will just speak when you're recognized. Please.
Ready?
Minister.
Yeah, Madam Chairman, I assure you that I will provide the information. And I was saying, when I came here first last year, I didn't have all the answers, and I promised to provide the information, and I did provide it. So I will do the same this time to all members.
All right. So the information will be provided by the minister. Member for Tabaki, do you have any further questions on this item?
No, ma'am.
May I just interject here and say that I take umbrage to the member for Tabakit saying that we are trying to hide information because it is totally incorrect. It is incorrect, especially given the fact that every
Ma'am,
I think
we both can't speak at the same time.
Especially, thank you, ma'am, especially given the fact that everything that has been asked, we have indicated if we do not have the information at hand, we will provide it. And in keeping with that, the Ministry of Finance has already provided information. The Ministry of National Security has already provided information. We are not hiding anything, and I take umbrage to that on behalf of this side of the House.
Okay, so my order. Member for Couva South, you're now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I myself take umbrage to the fact that the Minister of Planning and Development made certain insinuations that contractors were dismissed on the fact that they did not pay NIS. Could the Minister provide this meeting with a list of those contractors and to back the information that you just presented to this House meeting? In addition to that, Mr. Minister, could you indicate how many employees were there in the program at the end of the last fiscal year, and how many will be employed as a result of the present allocation in 2019? And further to that, could you provide us with a breakdown of the number of contractors that will carry out this particular program in the 41 constituencies in Trinidad and 39 in Trinidad? Thank you.
Okay, so I'll allow the question as regards 2019. The number of workers I believe you want?
Yes.
In 2019, and the number of contractors by constituency in 2019. Honorable Minister, are you in a position to provide that information?
260 contractors and 125 workers.
25 workers under the purview of CPEP or under the purview of the contractors?
260 contractors by 30 workers.
By 30 workers?
Yeah, sorry.
And you would be minded to provide a breakdown in terms of the 39 constituencies, Mr. Minister?
Sure.
Because I could recollect you clearly stating that you engage members of parliament as it relates to the award of contract and contractors in the 39 constituencies of Trinidad. I'm still awaiting my engagement, whether it is verbally or in writing.
Member for Couva North.
The questions were asked, Chairman.
Member for Point of Peer.
Madam Chair. Minister, just a follow-up to the innocent workers who might have been NIS payments who would not have been paid on behalf of by delinquent contractors, and I'm about the workers themselves. What is the policy of the CPEP in rectifying those innocent employees whose NIS were not paid by those contractors?
The information has been passed on to the NIB.
So the CPEP would rectify that on behalf of the workers?
Yes.
Thank you.
Member for Oropuch is?
Question was asked.
Okay. Item 011, transfers to state enterprises. Member for Point of Peer.
Yeah. Page 264, Rural Development Company, Trinidad, RDC. Minister, 1.8 million was allocated for 2018, and there's now a decrease. Could you clarify for me, is this company functional, or what the status of this particular company? Because in 2017, there was actual expenditure in that particular company.
Okay.
Is it closed down? I don't know.
No, the company is operating. Actually, it's actually 1.5 and not 1.8 as listed. And this assists to meet with operational expenses. They should no longer require any ad hoc funding from central government, as the allocation given for the IDF projects has been substantially increased, and the management fees generated should be able to sustain their operational expenses.
Could you just...
So this is an idea?
Oh.
All right, so member for Point
No,
of
but I just
Peer.
want to ask, what is the purpose of this particular company, RDC? What is the function of it? What do they do?
You would want to do it on the IDF?
Okay,
Because we
I'm
don't
guided
have
by
a line item
Aruka.
there.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
guided
and
by
I
Aruka.
allowed the question because you wanted to know what happened between 2018 and now. So if you could hold those questions on
Okay,
the
ma'am.
IDF for me, please. Member for Vicebank, you have a question? Subhead 06, current transfers to statutory boards and similar bodies. Page 264. And we're really going on to a new book for the details. Honorable members, we will now move on to the draft estimates of revenue and expenditure of the statutory boards and similar bodies and of the Tobago House of Assembly. 23, Port of Spain City Corporation, subhead 01, we at page 228, item 001, General Administration. 228. Member for Tabaki, do you have a question here? Item 002, Public Health and Disposal, page 228. Item 003, Abattoirs, Markets and Dining Shed, page 228. Item 004, Transport and Cleansing, page 229. Item 005 squares, playgrounds and trees. Item 006, stores, works and repairs. Item 007, cemeteries and crematorium. Item 008, Woodbrook Estate, page 230. Subhead 02, goods and services at page 230. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, public health and disposal, page 231. Member for Tabakit.
Item number 12. I see you have $350,000 there for materials and supplies, public health and disposal. When you look at the substantial amount of wages paid in public health and disposal as against the amount of material that is possibly available for them to work, is there a discrepancy there? Are we getting the work done?
I don't know why you could, that should,
Well, for example, what is public health and disposal? What does this division do?
this is, like, bulk waste,
Bait.
yeah, in public health department.
This is where rat bait and so on is put, baiting and all that?
Yeah, yes, include everything.
Is this spraying of
Yeah.
right.
Public health, yes,
Yes.
generally.
Right, and I'm saying that it seems to me, on the basis of your allocation of $350,000 and a $12 million wages and salary, you have a lot of people involved, and I'm saying, is this why you have so much money in salaries and wages and little material for them to do the job? So you have rat-infested communities, all kinds of things, and you're paying a lot of wages. The question is, how do you come up with a budget of $350,000 for Port Spain City Corporation, and all over Charlotte Street rat running still, right? And the drains and so on. And you have all these $12 million in wages, and apart from that, in item number 22, you go back and you have $1.6 million more in short-term employment. What are all these people doing? Are they working, or are they working 2 hours and going home? Because they have no materials.
Well, they're not supposed to work 2 hours and go home. They're not supposed to do that. And that's a discussion that I intend to take up at the next level. And the corporations, generate their own revenue too. Some, they generate their own revenue.
Sorry?
I say some of the corporations generate their own revenue to purchase materials and supplies.
But even if they generate their own revenue, Minister, it will be reflected here in the amount that they are buying, and in this budgeted item.
No, it wouldn't be here. Yeah, this is what the central government is providing. And also remember, if funding is required at different corporations, I could approve environments and so on if needed.
Incidentally, of the $229 million that the corporation has recorded as income, $223,972,000 is provided by the government. So the only revenue they get is $5.4 million. But we are not here, we can't look at income. So so that to suggest that they are getting income to use is not necessarily true. Whatever is reflected in these figures is what is budgeted for this particular purpose. Unless there's a variant and unless... No, Member for Digo Martin noticed, Mr. Plan, I am very concerned about the health in this country because people have died in this country from rat disease, right? Leptospirosis. I'm very concerned about it. Yeah, thank you.
Item 003, abattoirs, markets and dining shed. Item 004. Yes. Abattoirs, markets and dining shed.
I was looking for the item. Repairs and maintenance of buildings. Mr. Minister, how many abattoirs do you have in Port of Spain?
Line item 21.
21.
Some members, the member with the disturbing device, could you just go out and put it on silence and return? Thank you very much.
How many abattoirs do you have in the Port of Spain City Corporation? One abattoir?
Yeah.
And where is that located?
Next to the market.
Next to the market. That's it. It's on there. Yeah.
Member for a point of order.
We're going over to the next page, ma'am. 234, 004.
Yes, once we are in, well, are we finished with markets and abattoirs?
I'm just item 15. 15, repairs and maintenance equipment in the abattoir. It's 10,000. What equipment do they have there in the abattoir? And is 10,000 adequate? Do they have freezers and whatnot?
Well, that's like chopping saws for the...
Only that, yeah. There's no freezing equipment there.
Freezers and so on. Freezers.
And the 10,000, in your view, is adequate?
Is adequate.
Okay.
Items 004, transport and Glenzen on page 232, member for Tabakit.
Mr. Minister, the sum of $23,577,900 under other contracted services, item 28, is that for the disposal of garbage by contractors, by contractor vehicles?
Yeah. Yeah, it will include that.
It includes that. So, what? If it includes that, what is the amount that garbage contractors earn on an annual basis from clearing of garbage on the streets?
Remember, I really have to get back to you with that one.
Are the garbage contractors that are included here, are they supplemented by your own vehicles? Because I see here under item 15 repair, the item 13 maintenance of vehicles. Do you also have garbage collection equipment at the
yeah, we have in-house garbage collection vehicles. We have some
compactors.
Yes.
And these compactors work on a daily basis?
Yes.
Every day?
Every day.
So they supplement the contracted services?
Yes.
Member for Tabaki, do you have any further questions? Item 005, squares, playgrounds and trees. Item 006, stores, works and repairs. Member for Tabaki,
Maintenance of vehicles.
just help me with our lineup.
13, sorry.
Thank you.
13. You have $400,000 that you are applying in 2019 for the maintenance of vehicles. Can we get an understanding of how many vehicles in the Port of Spain City Corporation are right now not serviceable or are not on the roads of the total fleet of vehicles in the corporation?
Remember, about 2 weeks ago, I requested from all the corporations in Trinidad a list of the non-functional vehicles. And I got it, and we are intend to work on it to liaise with the Ministry of Finance and so on to get the appropriate.
Would you wish to share what percentage of vehicles in the corporations are non-functional? Or at least in Port of Spain?
It varies, It varies. Like some backhoes are down, and for minor parts and minor things, I'll provide. I have the list. I could
Mr. Minister,
provide it.
I asked that question, and I ask it because, as you're aware, regional corporations are the first point of call for disaster. And if all this equipment is not working and there are disasters, then we are in deep trouble when at least up to, in some corporations, as you know, over 50% of the vehicles are not functional.
Right. Yeah. And it's very important, and as I said, I've been working on it.
Sure. I'm glad you asked for the list.
Yeah, I did. I wrote every corporation, and I got the listing. And I have it before us. We are in discussion with the Permanent Secretary right now.
Thank you.
I saw the need for it, especially when the flooding and so on took place throughout the country.
Item 007, cemeteries and crematorium. Member for Caroni East.
I know it's a morbid area, but Minister, line item 21. The crematorium at Long Circular Road seem to be having some major infrastructural problems. I see you have only about 100,000 for repairs. Could you make some comments? Because, I mean, sometimes you have 3 or 4 cremations at that site on a daily basis, but the infrastructure is weak. There's leakage. The rooms are not adequate now. What can you do to improve the situation there with 100,000? Something you have to look at.
Well, we will definitely need some extra funding for this.
Yeah.
So what we can do, we could, via funds, for the midterm, we ask for more funding.
I want to ask your consideration for your deep introspection in that area, because it affects a wide community, not only in the Port of Spain area, Diego Martin, Petit Valley, Marval, everywhere. So I think people will be happier if their loved ones are taken care of in a holistic and a very revered manner, so that the surroundings will be good for their day inside there. So look into it. And
Yeah, I will definitely have discussions with the council in Port of Spain for the improvement of the services at the crematorium.
And on that, what are the cemeteries you look after in the Port of Spain Corporation?
Item are we under?
Yeah, well,
repairs and maintenance of buildings, or we move on to another item?
well, the cemeteries is not a building, so I was looking to see what.
So I've just asked, what item are we under?
Well, I'd probably say under item 12, materials and supplies and so on, what do you do about improvement of the cemeteries and which ones are there? Is
Minister?
it Lapirose and what else? What are the other cemeteries that the materials and supplies will go to for improvement? And how many cemeteries do you look after in the Port of Spain City Corporation? I live in there for 40-something years in Port of Spain area, but I don't know how many cemeteries we have.
I will have to provide the list for you.
No, nobody in back there could help you.
No.
Mr. Minister, I'm on item 12, and there's a related item with 21 in. With $5.9 million in wages and cemeteries, for cemeteries, and $140,000 estimate for materials and supplies, why is it that so many of the cemeteries, with all that labor, it still has all this overgrown grass all the time, and they can't be kept clean? Mr. Minister, if, with the permission of the Speaker, when I was mayor of Chaguanas, I renamed all my cemeteries Gardens of Memories. And instead of cutting them every 4 months, I bought whackers and placed the people to cut every week, and the cemeteries became like lawns. Why is it that that cannot be done in all the cemeteries in this country? The vision of Gardens of Memories, that's your ancestors, man. Plant them up with flower plants like we did in Chaguanas. But today you drive in Laventillans and the grass is all high. That's not how you treat your departed ones. I'm sorry to intervene in this way, but to make my point. Did I have one?
For cemeteries, so that is where they would have the additional funds provided.
Yes. Yes, so, Honourable Member, as I said, this also falls under the DP, and I will provide okay.
Item 008, Woodbrook Estate. Item 009, Corporation Properties. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. We're on to page 234. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Public Health. Member for Caroni East.
In item 01, Honorable Minister, vehicles. That would, I'm sure, incorporate a number of the vehicles. What vehicles are you looking at there in terms of no money allocation for it?
Well, member, I think that question in itself answers itself.
Well, can I ask, why is there no allocation for vehicles in?
Well, I mean, remember, there's no provision for vehicles.
Yeah, well, there is need for vehicles in Port of Spain, the public health vehicles, and why is there no allocation?
Well, remember, if you say that there's need, it must be based on something.
Well, I saw it, but it has a dash, so that means there's no allocation. So I'm asking him why there is no allocation.
And I'm sure you'll get an opportunity to ask that question at another time. Okay?
All right, we'll ask.
Remember, what we're looking at is things that have, items that have an allocation, at least for this process. Okay?
Yeah, all right.
All right. Item 003, abattoirs, markets, and dining shed.
Is this not to look at allocations and why not there are no allocations? And so therefore one could get a sense of the priority or non-prioritization of these items,
No,
cost
I
items?
think for the last 5 days, what we said, we look at light items that have
Only
an
have cost
allocation.
items? Only have
All right,
allocation?
and this is the remit of this committee. But just to clear up further, I have allowed questions where there's no funding in 2019.
Right.
But there was in 2018, and people have asked, is that the project is finished? Okay?
Okay.
So item 003, abattoirs, markets, and dining sheds. Item 004, transport and cleansing. Item 005, squares, playgrounds, and trees. Item 006, stores, works, and repairs. Item 007, cemeteries and crematoriums, page 235. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 005, non-profit institutions. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. We go on to 24, San Fernando City Corporation, which is at page 246. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, page 246, item 001, general administration. Item 002, city and departments of maintenance. Item 003, institutions. Item 004, parks, playgrounds, and cemeteries. Item 005, transport. We're at page 247 now. Item 006, local health authority. Subhead 02, goods and services, page 247. Item 001, general administration, page 247 and 248. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On page 248, line item 23, fees. I'm seeing an allocation for 460,000 for the 2019 estimate, an increase by 191,000. Minister, can you clarify a bit with respect to what fees warrants an increase by 191,000?
Remember, I will have to provide the information for you.
No problem. Thank you.
Couva North.
Thank you. Minister, line item 46, natural disasters. Seen an allocation for 207,000 for 2019, an increase by 76,000. I'm just curious with respect to what exactly accounts for the increase by 76,000 for natural disasters.
Well, you know, with natural disasters, the corporation, all the corporations that respond to fallen
Yes.
trees and clearing water courses and so on. We have natural disasters everywhere.
Yeah.
I think this is what it is for.
So it's for the cost of dealing with responding.
To
I just want to be
to
clear.
Facilitate,
To
yes.
facilitate. Okay,
Yes.
great. Thanks.
Member for Naprima.
To a question from my colleague from Couva North. If the actual, this is item 46, natural disasters, if the actual in 2017 was 223, why 2 years after the estimate would be less, 207, given the fact that with climate change and whatnot, we expect more natural disasters? It should at least be consistent or more, or most likely more.
Funds are needed. We will look at it and provide.
Okay.
If I may just interject here, ma'am. You'll recall that 2017 actual reflects what was actually spent. So
right.
it means it would have been the year.
Right.
Remember, when we put an estimate here, we are anticipating that this is what we'll spend for the year, but at the mid-year, we could always supplement it. So the actual here in 2017 reflects a year of spending.
Right.
And as the minister said,
Yes.
if it needs to be supplemented, it will.
Yeah, but it seems, yeah,
But
sorry.
in an effort to get as close as possible, given the financial circumstances and so, in an effort to get as close as possible, you will see that the estimate
It's 76,000
reflects,
more.
yes, it's more than what was requested.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it seems to
can
me.
be supplemented.
Yeah, I understand that you can supplement and whatnot, but there must be some logic to the figure allocated in 2019.
Yeah, and that,
right?
that
It cannot, if everything is the assumption is that we could, at the mid-year review, alter. It makes nonsense out of
No, it doesn't.
the budget.
It also reflects the amount of money that the Minister of Finance has to deal with at a particular point in time. So remember, there are other corporations, so we had to give what was available at the time.
Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A very important line item 93, operations of electoral district offices for councillors of municipal corporations. Now, I'm seeing a decrease by 83,000 for fiscal 2019 with an allocation for 650,000. Minister, in light of what have been happening to some of our councillors, I have a sitting councillor, Councillor C. Prasad, who did not receive any allocations for rental for his offices. And I'm seeing a decrease here for the San Fernando City Corporation. Is this a trend or a pattern that we're going to see with the other regional corporations? No, I'm just making reference. But I'm asking about the decrease here for San Fernando also. Yeah, boy, the man do have an office.
No, this one operation. So
Members, could you all stop all the crosstalk, please, and assist the minister to get our attention, Minister?
Port of Spain Corporation, they got an increase from 2017. I mean, sorry, San Fernando. They got an increase.
Okay, but less than the 2018 revised estimate. So
But this is adequate.
it is adequate for every office for payment, right? Okay, thank you.
Member for Naprima.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 99. In 2017, only $450 was spent. In the estimates of 2018, 10,000 was allocated, nothing spent. But yet in 2019, we see an allocation for 8,000. I know it's small, but you spoke about the straitened circumstances. And I wanted to know if there's some pressure, something that will be put on employees that would require, because it must be based on some anticipation of
Mean that
increased
nothing was
usage.
spent. Sorry, it does not mean that nothing was spent. because the final figures for 2018
I understand
are
that.
not in
But
as
at the
yet.
mid-year review, nothing was spent because it would have been reflected in the revised estimates.
Okay.
So, move on. Let's move on. Let's move on, Madam Speaker.
Member for Orupuch West?
002.
All right.
Madam.
Okay, so I'll call you item 002, City and Departments of Maintenance, page 248. Member for Orupuch West.
Honorable Minister, line 28, other contracted services. We received in 2019 estimates $500,000 and an increase of $300,000. Can you give an account of what are these other contracted services?
Remember, I have to get this for you.
Item 003, Institutions. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Line item 28, other contracted services. 2019 estimate of 644,000, an increase by 143,000. Minister, can you tell me exactly what is other contracted services?
What?
Box drains, used for black box drains and stuff.
Streams and so on.
Okay.
248.
So for materials for construction of box drains? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Item 004, Parks, Playground and Cemeteries, page 249. Member for Orupuch West.
Honorable Minister, line 43, security services. I'm seeing an increase from the 2019 estimates, 800,000 to 330,000 increase. Can you tell us how many parks, playground, and cemeteries will account for this increase in security?
Member, if you look at the 2017 actual, 1.4 million. If you look at the original estimate for 2018, 1 million. So the 2019 estimate is 800,000. Technically, it's not really an increase.
But how many parks, playgrounds, and cemeteries?
25, Minister, 25.
25.
You could always give us it. You could always give us it after.
The number of parks and playgrounds.
Remember, I had some interest in San Fernando, so I will have an average of about 25.
Oh.
Okay. Member for Couva North.
Madam Chair, line item 28, Minister again, other contracted services, 400,000 estimated for 2019, 200,000 increase from the 2018 revised estimate. Can I get an account for with respect to that type of contracted services? Sorry.
Again, member, if you look at the 2017 actual, 2018
Minister, I'm not
original,
disputing the figures. I'm asking for
may I-
types of contracted
may
services.
I be allowed to speak? I just want to correct the
But you're not
record.
listening to what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Members
1
are
minute.
constantly saying it's an increase. I need to correct the record on every single occasion. In the same way you reminded me about vehicles in the Tobago House of Assembly, every time you say it's an increase, I need to correct you. The actual for 2017 was 887,000. The original estimate for 2018 was 600, and the estimate for 2019 is 400. It is technically not an increase.
Increase column in our budget estimates.
Okay, I will now say this for yet another time.
Yes.
That when you close the accounts for 2018, you would get the 2018 actuals, which will then appear in the book for 2020. So in 2020, you will see what the 2018 actual
Yeah, but
was. I am not finished, member.
Sure.
Member,
Sorry,
I am
Madam
not
Chair, let him
finished.
finish. Yeah.
What you are seeing here is a revised estimate because these books are printed about 2 weeks before the end of the fiscal year. A lot of payments come in the month of September, which would not find their way into the revised estimates. They find their way into the actual in the following year. If you go back 10 years and look at the progression of actual and revised, you will see they are always different.
Madam Chair, just for clarification, I am reading it as I am seeing it here in the book. It is the estimate for 2019, fiscal 2019, and under the increased column, they give you the specific numbers or the amounts by which there's an increase as compared to the revised estimates of 2018, and of course in comparison to the 2017 actual. I cannot predict what the actual figures for 2018 or 2019 is going to be, so I am reading it as I see it.
And therefore, we are not in a position.
Minister, with all due respect, I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
But you just said an inaccuracy. If you compare it to the 2017 actual, it is not an increase.
Okay,
it's
but I'm comparing it to the 2018 revised estimate, which is 200,000.
And I told
and
you
therefore
that is
there's
not
an
a final
increase by
figure.
2. Let me finish,
Members,
please.
Not final.
Let me
Member
finish.
for Minister of Finance, please allow the member to express the view. Yes, member for Kuvano.
Madam Chair, the revised estimate for 2018 is 200,000. The estimate for 2019 is 400,000. It's simple math that the minister cannot understand. Therefore, it shows under the increased column an increase by 200,000 more than the revised estimate from the 2018 estimates. I think I'm justified in identifying the increased column.
Again, Madam Speaker, the 2017 actual is the best guide to what the expenditure should be.
All right, so, members, all right. I quite clearly understand what the member for Couva North is expressing. A Minister of Finance, just as you had indicated, when you are reminded constantly of something, you have to answer in a particular way, while it might be somewhat repetitive. I would ask us all to give the necessary indulgence that is required for us to further the process. So that if a member asks that the figure is an increase in the estimate, and I think that's what the question is, it's an increase in the estimate. Minister of Finance, it may require a somewhat repetitive answer, but if that is what is required, then I'd expect you to exercise the necessary tolerance in furtherance of the process. And I have so ruled.
Certainly,
Thank
Madam
you very
Speaker.
much. Member for Caroni.
Thank you, Chair.
Central.
I was just going to say that if the matter is defined as an increase.
Member for Caroni Central, I think having regard to what I just said, we no longer need to regurgitate that. I thank you for your assistance. Do you have a matter on where we at?
No.
Item 004, Parks, Playgrounds and Cemeteries. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Line item 28, Minister, Other Contracted Services, 2019 fiscal estimates, 400,000, an increase by 200,000. Can you tell me what type of other contracted?
100,000 over the 2018 estimate.
Yes, over the 2018 revised estimate.
Okay, fine. Yes.
Right. Nice. Great. So can you tell me what type of contracted services?
This is a small urgent works to provide for safe environment, equipment, etc.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Item 005, Transport, page 249. Item 006, Local Health Authority, page 250, member for Couva North.
Minister, line item 28, other contracted services. Again, the estimate for 2019, 15.5 million. an increase by 1.3 million from the 2018 revised estimate of 14.1 million. Can I get a clarification again? Types of other contracted services?
Other contracted services like garbage collection, etc.
Okay, just to clarify, Minister, does garbage collection have its own line item? No, I didn't really take a look to see. No, okay. So it falls under other contracted services. Yes? Okay, thank you.
Member for Oropouche West.
My colleague.
Okay. Sub-item, subhead 03, minor equipment purchases, page 250. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, city and departments. Item 003, institutions, we are at page 251. Item 004, parks, playgrounds, and cemeteries. Item 005, transport. Item 006, local health authority. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 005, institutions. Item 007, households, we are at page 252. Item 009, other transfers. We now go to page 263, 25, Arima Borough Corporation. Page 263, item 001, general administration.
I'm seeing something on 260. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Item 002, public health. Member for Oropouche West.
Page 264, madam.
No, we are page 263.
Oh, I'm in 264, I'm sorry.
Okay. Item 003, market and abattoirs. Item 004, parks and recreation grounds. We now going on to page 264, item 005, works. Are you there, member Oropouche?
02, madam, and goods
No,
and
no,
services.
we haven't reached us yet, okay. Subhead 02, goods and services, item 001, general administration. Member for Oropouche West.
Thank you, madam. Honorable Minister, line 08, rent, lease, office accommodation and storage. We are seeing an increase for the 2018 revised estimates from $834,000 to $682,000, an increase for the 2019 estimates. Can you account for this increase?
This is for new accommodation.
Honorable Minister, where is this?
Arima, at the City Hall.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Member for Gouverneur North.
The question was asked, madam. Thank you.
Item 002, public health. Page 265. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, parks and recreation grounds. Item 005, works at page 266. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Public Health. Item 004, Parks and Recreation Grounds. We're moving on to page 267. Item 005, Works. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. Item 007, Households. Item 009, Other Transfers. We now go to page 274. 26.40 Borough Corporation. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure, Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Local Health Authority. Item 003, Public Spaces. Item 004, Transport and Roads. Subhead 02, Goods and Services, page 275. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Local Health Authority, page 276. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Line item 28, Minister, Other Contracted Services. The 2019 estimate is 4 million, an increase by 225,000 from the 2018 revised estimate. Minister, would you care to explain or identify what is other contracted services for this increase?
Local LEG and garbage collection.
Okay, thank you.
Item 003, Public Places. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Line item 28 again, other contracted services. There's an increase by 65,000 at 200,000 for the 2019 estimate. And also the security services, I'm seeing a decrease actually by 53,000 for 250,000 in 2019. Minister, can you explain both the increase and the decrease for both line items?
For the increase, if more is needed, we will via.
All right, okay.
And the other one is, this is a nominal increase, a small amount.
So,
Okay.
Member for Couva, maybe it might be more accurate if you ask if they would explain the figure.
Yes.
Yes?
Okay, sure.
So I can get that for them.
Okay. Item 004, Transport and Roads. Item 005, Corporation Properties. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. We are at page 277. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Local Health Authority. Item 003, Upkeep of Public Places. Item 004, Transport and Roads. Item 005, Corporation Properties. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. We are at page 278. Item 007, Households. Item 009, other transfers. We now move to page 284. 27, Shogunas Borough Corporation, subhead 01, personal expenditure, item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Member for Caroni Central.
I just ask on cemeteries there, there's a reduction of 103. What is the rationale, given that, what is the rationale?
Let me come in here, Madam Chairman. If you look at the original 2014, it was 714. So it's exactly the same original provision. What would happen during the year is that the borough corporation may need to spend a little more, so they'd apply for a transfer of environment from some other vote and supplement this vote. So what the Budgets Division has done is simply given them the same original allocation in 2019 as occurred in 2018, and they may supplement as and when required.
All right.
Item 003, market and abattoirs. Member for Tabakit.
Mr. Minister, what is the situation with the abattoir in Chaguanas at this point in time, in terms of its maintenance in particular? And I'm looking at 02.
I think that would apply to goods and services. I'm sure it will come up under the goods and services item for the abattoir.
Bonus West.
Been asked directly in a different avenue.
Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Member for Chaguanas West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The maintenance of grounds is proving to be quite a problem. I noticed that there has been an increase from 7.2 million to additional, from 6.9 to 7.2 million dollars. And there has been a particular problem with the much-used Monroe Road Recreation Ground, also known as the Manohar Ramsaran Ground. And I would like the Minister to pay some attention to that. There's some kind of ongoing controversy between the curators of the ground and the Borough Corporation, with no resolution in sight.
May I ask the member, is this affecting the work done by the corporation workers?
Yeah, it is affecting the work.
I see. And if you look at the original estimates, you see it's really identical. The original 2018 and the original 2019, exactly the same, 7,271, 400.
So that's a question of the, okay.
Yeah. But I think that point about interference is a very valid point.
Item 005, Local Health Authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 02, goods and services, page 285. Item 001, general administration. Member for Couva North.
Madam Chair, line item 43, security services, seen 2019 estimate at 2,855,000 increase from the 2018 revised estimate, which was at 1.145 million. Can you account for this increase in the figure?
It's rounding out from the actual in 2017.
Madam Chairman, I would just ask the member to take note of the actual for 2017, which was $1.9 million.
Okay. Minister, are you in agreement with that?
So not.
Right, okay, great, thanks.
Member for Caroni East.
Yeah. I told the minister not supposed to go back to 2017.
Is that a question?
All right, okay, I'll put my question. I want to make that statement. You buff up everybody yesterday.
Yeah.
Anyway, line item 15, Madam Chair. Repairs and maintenance equipment. The equipment for the entire corporation of Chaguanas, 93,000, 100,000 for repair of equipment. When we, as members of parliament, want to get assistance for our constituencies, they always say that they don't have equipment, they're not working properly, they're not functional. I mean, this is terrible.
We be correct, we're on 19?
Yeah.
Is it 19?
He's on page 255.
Yeah.
But
285.
Sorry, 285,
Minister.
but please note the primary head.
Goods and services,
No,
yes.
the primary head is general administration.
But 19 is official entertainment.
Yes, he's calling the wrong head.
No,
he meant
15.
15.
So I just want for us to be correct.
He meant 15, Madam
15?
Speaker.
Okay.
But it's for general administration. So these will be the vehicles and equipment associated with the administrative function of the corporation and not the field function that you are referring
Right,
to.
well, when you call for help, they say they don't have any vehicles to come and inspect the area for you.
Yeah, but that is on other heads,
No,
cemeteries,
that's
markets,
administration, when we call
building
administration.
grounds. No, I don't agree with you.
Well, we'll differ.
This is for general administration.
But that is where the
purposes.
difficulty lies. They say they
Nothing
can't
to
come
do
and
with
examine
field.
One
what
minute,
is
please,
happening. They
Minister.
don't have any vehicles to come.
Well, if he keeps saying that.
And one more, 93, Madam Chair. Operations of electoral district offices for councillors of municipal corporations. What does that entail? And how? Is it the councillors' offices? Is that a payment for it?
Rent staff, office supplies, incidental, etc.
For whom? The councillors? I'm not hearing you, the minister.
The councillor is in the thing. Operation of electoral district office for councillors
Right.
of municipal corporations. So obviously it's for councillors.
Yes, so you're paying for the offices? For these
Offices of
councillors?
councillors, that's what it says.
All right. So
I asked the same question over.
how many councillors would that be paying for?
All of them.
How much is all of them?
You don't know how many councillors in Chaguanas
And
Borough
some of them
Corporation?
are not being paid. Madam Chair, some of the councillors are being evicted from their offices because fees are not paid. They don't have, the money is not paid by the corporation for
that a
these
question,
councillors to be in their offices.
Is that a
And they're
question?
being evicted from their offices. So, yeah, that's a
Yes.
fact.
So,
That's
yeah.
a fact. Are they taking the desk and chair and everything? Yes.
Question, Madam Speaker?
Yes, the question. What do you do? What
It's
are you
based
doing,
on a
Minister?
false premise.
You're not letting the minister answer. You in charge.
Fine.
You the minister of local government too? I know
All
the
right, so
minister
the
of
question
everything,
is, there's a question posed to the minister based on that experience. And the question is, what is being done about it?
Remember I want to assure you, because a question was posed to me in another place, that 3 councillors who were affected, one in Couva, Rio Claro, and somewhere else. And I gave the assurance that this would not happen again. And I liaised directly with the chairman of Couva and chairman of Rio Claro, and we're working directly with the Ministry of Finance to ensure.
But the mayor
Mayor,
of
the
the
mayor.
Chaguanas Corporation.
Well, as you know, member, I have a relationship with everybody.
Right, okay. Good. A good one, yeah.
Huh?
A
Member
good
for
one. You have a
Chaguanas
good
West.
relationship.
Very good one.
Line item number 43, security services. Minister, to the Honourable Minister. Minister, as you are aware, a councillor in the Chaguanas Borough Corporation who was shot at, and they're arising out of newspaper reports, allegations against the internal operations in which is indicated that she was fighting corruption within the Borough Corporation, and that is why her home was shot at. I know it is that aspect of it is a police matter, but did you cause any investigation to be done at the Chaguanas Borough Corporation having regard to the allegations being made?
Yes. Remember, it's a police matter, but I want to give the assurance also that the council has written to me, and I intend to respond to her accordingly.
Okay.
Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases, we are at page 287. Item 001, general administration. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of building, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local government authority. We are at page 288. Local health authority, I'm sorry. Thank you. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies, page 288. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. We now go on to page 292. 28, Diego Martin Regional Corporation. Subhead 01, personnel expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Member for Urupuch
Page
West.
294, is it, Madam? 294?
No, we're at page 292.
Okay, sorry.
We're still on the personal expenditure. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. We are page 294 now. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Member for Urupuch West.
Thank you, Madam. Honorable Minister, line 28, other contracted services. 2018 revised estimates 59,300. 2019 estimates 400,000. An increase of 341,000. Can you account for what are these other contracted services?
This is adequate
And it's consistent
and it's consistent
with 2017
for 2017.
and 2018 estimates. And 2018 estimates.
For the 2017 and 2018 estimate.
In fact, Madam Chairman, the original estimate for 2019 and 2018 are identical at $400,000.
Item 005, local health authority. North, you had a question, sorry. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases, page 295. Item 001, general administration. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies, page 295. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. We now go on to page 301. 29, Samuel Laventil Regional Corporation. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, page 301. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases, page 304. Item 001, general administration. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. We now go on to page 309.
Tete Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation, subhead 01, personal expenditure, page 309, item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, market and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority, page 309. I recognize Tabaki.
Minister, under item 2, wages and COLA, we have 32,300,000. Where does that include the remuneration for litter wardens?
No.
Where are litter wardens paid, if I may ask?
Ministry of Works and Transport, that was dealt with yesterday. Sorry, I'm sorry, traffic wardens, my apologies.
Remember, that falls under contract employment.
Contract employment? But would that be under goods and services then?
It's under the head office. Yes.
No, we're not under goods and services.
You're under personal expenditure.
I'm just trying to locate.
Item 006.
Yeah, no.
The ministry. It's not corporation by corporation. So the ministry would engage and
pay the salaries and wages and deploy.
And allocate them to the
And
corporation.
distribute, deploy.
Is that why, may I ask, Minister, that a lot of the corporations are having difficulty having some kind of administrative control over the litter wardens? Because they are paid from head office, and therefore there's a problem of who they're really responsible to?
Well, I just see, in my view, if they are being paid through head office and they're under the control of the corporation is supposed to have the authority to deal with them.
Some of the wardens don't feel that way. Eh?
Well,
it creates all kind of administrative difficulties because, for example, if I may, Deputy Speaker, if I may, the allocation of vehicles to the litter wardens become a problem. So the litter wardens cannot really go out and do their work because they don't have a traveling allowance. They have a flat salary. And therefore, it's a lot of difficulties that the corporation, when you ask as an MP, why is it that litter wardens have not come out to give tickets in a particular area? You're being told, well, you know, the litter wardens don't necessarily report to us. So that is a problem.
So, Mr. Minister, again, it's something that you all will have to look into. And
I'm not saying it's the case all over, but the cases
It's not
where,
a line item here. Eh? This is not a line item.
I know it's not a line item, but the thing is, it's a public matter that comes under health.
I would like to, to you, Mr. Chairman.
Very much, Mr. Minister.
I have been getting this complaint from all the mayors and chairmen. They want them to fall under the corporation so they will have control over them. Are we in discussion with that? And that's the way it will work.
With the permission
now,
of...
members, again,
I know you're
don't
talking
want
about
us to
line
entertain
item.
This is
a
not a
debate
line
back and
item.
forth, right? So, Mr. Member for Tabakit, I'll give you a comment, a final comment on it, and then we'll probably hear from the minister.
We'll bring a motion to discuss the effectiveness of the litter wardens under the present administrative arrangements.
Right. Okay. Mr. Minister, you care to comment, or I can move on? Item 006, Maintenance of State Traces, Local Roads, etc., page 310. Subhead 02, Goods and Services, item 001, General Administration, page 310. Item 002, Cemeteries. Item 003, Market and Abattoirs. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Item 005, Local Health Authority. Tabakit. Member for
Other
Tabakit.
contracted services, you have an increase of $11.8 million in other contracted services. Can we get an understanding of why this increase to $55 million?
Mr. Chairman, I just wish to point out that the original allocation for 2018 under this line item was $56 million. The 2019 original allocation is $55,288,400. So it is less. And what the budget division will do every year based on requests from the corporations would allocate a certain sum. Whether that is spent or not during the year depends on a number of factors. What the budget division has done is allocated more or less the identical amount in 2019 that it allocated in 2018.
See, I can't go back to 2017 to tell you that $55 million was also given out there and in fact was spent. But is it that contractors are owed money? And that's included in the $55.3 million that's allocated in 2019. Are there outstanding payments to contractors? And who are these? If so, are these garbage contractors?
Minister of Finance or Minister? Minister of Local Government?
This will include the garbage. No, we don't have any arrays.
Okay.
Not aware of any arrays.
Mr. Minister, these payments that are made under this head to the garbage contractors are made on the basis of a contract between the garbage contractor and the ministry or the regional corporation.
The regional corporation.
Right. This contract does this contract contain specific clauses that deal with the apparatus clothing and other things that a worker who works on a garbage truck requires in order to protect his or her own health?
Minister?
So when the contractor get paid, the contractor is supposed to provide all those.
Is the minister aware that there are people working on these garbage trucks without gloves, without masks, and on many occasions with rubber slippers? You want the evidence?
Okay.
Tunapuna Piako Corporation.
This
line item is dealing with Tunapuna Piako. In this corporation,
there are trucks in Tanapuna, and in this corporation, there are trucks in Chaguanas, there are trucks in Sipere, there are trucks all over.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm asking the member a specific question. Your complaint or allegation about lack of protective clothing, does it refer to the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation? Which areas in Tunapuna Piako?
Several of the areas, Mr. Minister.
Could you identify them so we could deal with it?
Again, members, again.
Pagis and Augustine is one area you'll see it.
So in Pagis and Augustine, use rubber slippers?
You asked me to identify area. I've seen trucks like that.
Okay.
And I've seen trucks otherwise.
Members, now is not the time for the debate of, right. Again, the information can be provided to the necessary minister. Again, you can write the ministry, identify the specific areas, and we can go forward. Right? Other than that, members, I'll proceed unless the minister has anything to add to the comment.
HD corporations.
Okay, great.
The role of this parliament is also to protect people who have contracts and protect the workers.
One second, I need to hear the comment of the member. I've given him
I'm not into
permission.
this, you know.
Yeah. Tabakit?
I made my comment. I said the role of this parliament is also to ensure that when contracts are given out to people, that they follow the tenets of the contract so that the workers who work are also protected.
Right. And again?
Here. Given what the member for Tabakit has said, that is why we are asking for evidence. Because sometimes people make broad, sweeping generalizations. So
okay,
if we could just get the evidence as it relates specifically to contractors in Tunapuna, we will be able to investigate and get that information,
again,
and the minister and the ministry will be able to deal with that.
Members, and I've given the member for Tabakit the opportunity that he can communicate with the ministry in order to so identify these particular contractors. And then the minister also said after that he will also look into the matter.
Okay, in the same way that we have
correct.
given undertakings that we will give information, is it that you will give the information?
Yes.
We look forward to receiving it.
Thanks for that. Urupuchis, you have a comment on this particular?
Yes, on this, Chairman, I'm very concerned about ministers in the front branch, disturbing the minister in the back, who is quite prepared to answer and very competent.
Is that a question?
Thanks for the comment, member.
Is that a question?
Why are you doing that?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Deputy Chairman, let me indicate that the Standing Finance Committee allows anybody to comment or ask a question. We are not disturbing our colleague. We are members of this House.
All entitled to speak.
If we have additional information, we are prepared to give it, Mr. Chairman. So the member for Oropouche East is misleading.
Okay, members, we'll move on. Item 006, maintenance of state traces. Members, please.
Chairman, may I humbly...
Minister of Finance, hold on. Minister of Finance, hold on. What it relates to, Minister of Finance?
The general conduct of this meeting.
Okay, I have noted it. No need to comment. Well, there is no need to comment at this time. I'm moving on. Item 0, member for Tabakit. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. And we're on page 312. Subhead 03, Hoover South. Where are you?
312, 006.
Proceed.
Chairman, to the Minister, I see that there's an increase as it relates to rent lease vehicles and equipment of $1 million. Could the minister shed some light?
Member, I'm not hearing you too clearly. Your mic is on also, and somehow proceed.
My mic.
Right, go ahead.
My mic is on, Chairman. I see an increase of $1 million as
Mr.
it
Chairman, that
relates
is
to-
incorrect. That is the wrong line item.
Line item?
He's looking at materials and supplies, Mr. Chairman.
Members,
And that
we
is
are
why
on
I was going to
item
make a request.
006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, page 312. That's where we at.
Under materials and
We're looking at the wrong
supplies.
line item.
Line item, give me the number.
1-2, Chairman, an increase of $1 million. Could the minister provide us with some information on how this $1 million will be spent, this increase?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to point out that the 2018 estimate for this item was $2 million, and the 2019 estimate is $1.75 million. There is no increase in the original allocation.
Mr.
And your
Chairman,
question is, you want to know how it will be spent?
whilst I have noted the Minister of Finance comments in the appropriate column, there's an increase of $1 million as it relates to the 2019 estimates, and I'm just seeking some information from the Minister.
Right, and your clarification is based on what, member, that you would like, how it will be spent?
Yes,
right.
how it will be spent.
Okay, Mr. Minister, how will those funds be spent in 2019?
Material.
Materials and supplies.
Which is what it says.
Minister, I hear you. Will there be, in terms of the additional materials and supplies, how are you going to spend it in terms of, will there be an increase of some type of materials or supplies and so on?
Mr. Chairman, I'd also like to point out that the 2017 actual under this item was $3.2 million. So the 2019 is
Mr.
not an
Minister,
increase.
Chairman,
hold on,
Chairman.
members. Minister of Finance, we have gone past that aspect. What we are clarifying now is how the monies will be spent. And Mr. Minister, you said supplies and materials. The members seem to need a little more information. Supplies like, example, could you just give probably 2 examples of the material or the supplies, please?
Like hot mix on concrete, sand, gravel.
Right. Okay, members. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. We are now on page 312 still. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies, and we're on page 313. Item 007, households. 009, other transfers. And we'll now move on to 31, Sandy Grande Regional Corporation. Page 317, subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Kumuto Manzelina.
Thank you. Chair, Honorable Minister, line item 13. I don't want to go back into what has been happening with throughout the corporations, but just to ask if at least the remuneration that is identified here can reach on a timely basis to the corporations, please.
Minister?
Yeah, I will ensure that happens.
Item 002, cemeteries. Kumuto Manzelina.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Minister, line item 30. Can the Honorable Minister indicate why is there a decrease?
Increase?
A decrease.
Or it's decrease, you said?
Yes, decrease.
Remember, you can.
Chairman,
no, wait, please, no.
Over and over. It's the
Chair.
same as the 2018 original.
Chair, let me
keep
just.
going over this point over and over and over, you know.
Chair.
1 second.
I understand that in 2018, the revised estimate was 23,000, and if you have to compare it with the estimates of 10,000, it appears as though there isn't a decrease. But I'm speaking in light of the fact that a number of the cemeteries in my area have not been maintained, and therefore I'm asking the question, even though the figures may not appear to be a decrease, the mere fact that they aren't being maintained properly, I'm asking if really and truly having this figure at the same level of the 2018 estimates, in fact, is going to be adequate.
Right. So to simply put, if the figure that is quoted will be able to maintain the cemeteries in 2019.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Minister.
Chairman, I need to clarify here. This is under personnel expenditure. It's allowances for daily rated workers. That cannot have any relationship to the maintenance of the cemetery. It needs to be asked under goods and services. I want to have some order here.
Okay, so remember, we identify the question when we go to goods and services. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, market and abattoirs. Kumuto Manzelina.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Minister, line item 02. I notice there's a decrease in the wages and COLA. Could you identify how many? Will this decrease impact negatively in the maintenance of the markets and the abattoirs?
Minister?
It's adequate.
If there's a require, if they require any more, sir, would it be possible for it to be increased at all during the period?
If a need, we'll do environment. If the need arises.
Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Kumuto Manzelina.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Minister, again, line item 202. There is a decrease, and of course, I do need to indicate that there's a serious problem of the grounds being maintained in the Kumuto Manzanilla area. It's overgrown and...
Chairman, it's identical to the original allocation for 2018.
So,
it's saying this is just going over in a circular fashion.
Minister of Finance, it's the member's prerogative to ask a question. As the chair of the committee, I will determine whether the question will be put forward to the minister to be answered. I cannot stop the member from asking whatever question they desire. Right? So
I'm not asking you to stop them.
Right, from that point of view.
But I never asked you to stop them. I'm just making a point.
Right, point taken. So, Mr. Minister, ditto, will the same criteria stand here for this question? In that environment can be made as we go forward. Fine.
Yeah, but it's adequate.
Item 005, Local Health Authority, page 318. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 02, goods and services, page 318. Item 001, general administration, pages 318 and 319. Kumuto Manzelina, I recognize you.
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of my constituents of Kumuto Manzanilla, I'm asking on line item 05. I see there's a decrease with the telephones, and I'm just asking if this decrease, has the minister considered if with the use of phones, particularly in an area that is affected by flood, if a decrease in this area really is warranted?
Mr. Minister,
and how it would impact?
Line item 05, telephones, if the amount quoted will be adequate.
If the same goes, if it's not adequate, we will via funds for it also.
Item 0.
Wait, just
Come on, member.
As given in-
Next, okay,
Yeah.
fine, go ahead.
Line item 43, security services.
Sure.
Again, will this decrease, Honorable Minister, affect the effective function of security within the constituency, the corporation?
Mr. Minister?
The amount is the same as 2018, original estimate.
I understand that, Minister. However, I know there has been some requests for additional security, and hence the reason why I'm asking.
Mr. Minister?
As the same applies here, Madam Honorable Member. If the need arises, we will via the money again.
Line item 68, water trucking. Honorable Minister, in my constituency, there have been a lot of issues with regards to water, and we have to depend, the residents have to depend a lot on truck-borne water, and I see there is a decrease. Will the Minister give an undertaking to wire monies if it's necessary for the increase in the water trucking, please?
Right, so again, member?
Okay, well,
Similar?
We will liaise with WASA, the head officer will liaise with WASA for assistance also.
And also, I saw in line item 93, there's a...
Mr. Chairman, may I be allowed to point out with respect to line item 68 that the 2019 estimate is identical to the 2018 original estimate,
And it was inaccurate.
and therefore when you compare those two, there is no decrease.
Thanks for that clarity, Mr. Minister. Next question.
Honorable Chair, if there wasn't a problem within my constituency, I wouldn't have been raising it.
No problem, member, and I'm giving you the opportunity
Thank
to
you,
ask the necessary questions.
Thank
Proceed.
you, Chair.
Or could I move on?
No, line item 93.
93?
Yeah.
Right.
Again, I see a decrease, and again, I'm asking for the undertaking from the Minister if there is any need for environment, that it will in fact be done for the operations.
Mr. Minister?
Yes, but if there's a need, but there shouldn't be a need really, but if there's a need.
Item. Come on, the member with the device, please. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, market and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. We now on page 320. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures, page 321. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. And we now move on to 32, Couva, Tabakit, Talparo Regional Corporation. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, and we're on page 325. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Page 326. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. I recognize the member for Couva North.
Thank you, Chair. Line item 46, Minister, natural disasters. Now, I've noticed in every other regional corporation there was an increase, but in this instance, there's a decrease as compared to the 2018 revised estimates by 150,000. Can you explain?
It's about, it's the same as 2018 original.
Minister?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, is the same as 2018 original estimates.
Yes, but the revised estimate is 300,000 for 2018. So why a decrease by 150,000 in 2019?
It is the same.
Honorable Member, if we need to put in more, we'll have to put in.
To increase, so that would be similar to a revised estimate for 2019. Okay, great.
These disasters are important.
Yes, very important, Minister.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr.
Thank
Finance.
you.
Yes, I'd like just to make a general comment in the context of the observation of the member for Couva North, that when you compare the 2019 estimates with the 2018 revised estimate for this particular line item of natural disasters, the members observed that there's a decrease of 150,000 between the 2019 estimate and the 2018 revised estimate. I'd just like to point out that adequate funds will be available for transfer of environment to this item because there's been an $11 million increase in the allocation to the Couva Tabaqui Talparo Corporation, as has been the case for all UNC corporations. All of them have received an increase in this fiscal year.
Chair, as you would quite understand, again, it is my right to ask on the different line items, and I will continue to ask.
Mr. Chairman, I want to make the point. I didn't complain. I offered clarification.
That's all well and
There's
good.
been an increase of $11 million
Thank you
in
for
the
that.
allocation for the Couva Corporation.
Thank you very much. They need more than that.
Okay. Okay, members, fine. Couva South, what aspect you want to think on a line item? Because I want to move on from the comments between both the minister and the minister for Couva South. And the MP for Couva South.
Yeah.
So we are on 001, General Administration.
Yes. The 93 operation of electoral district offices.
93.
Yes. Mr. Minister, could you guarantee all councillors of the Couva Tabaqui Talparo Regional Corporation, based on this allocation, that there will be a timely release of funds to ensure payment of rents as it relates to their electoral district offices in this fiscal year?
Okay. Again, Mr. Minister, could you make a general statement for all the other municipalities to come? Give us an assurance that on this line item, you will give the assurance that all the councillors will, and so on. Could you give us an assurance, please?
I ensure across the board that whatever I could do at my level, I will continue to do it as I have been doing all the time.
Well, I will plead with you to ensure through your permanent secretary the appropriate request is made to the Ministry of Finance so as to avoid further embarrassment where Councillor Alan Taxi Sipasad had to meet Burgesses on the street with his desk and chair and so on.
Thank you, Couva South. Minister of Finance, you can
wish to
clarify.
give the assurance that once the request comes for this particular line item, operations of offices of councillors for the Couva Tabaqui Talparo Regional Corporation, the funds will be released, especially since they got an increase this year. Okay, they got an increase.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask the Minister of Finance, because the Minister of Finance keeps making this general comment, they got an increase of $11 million. Could he tell this meeting how the $11 million is allocated in terms of the increase, and how many grounds that the Couva Tabaqui Talparo Regional Corporation is responsible for in terms of its geographic expanse?
Mr. Chairman, I thought we were on line item 93 on page 326 under 02 goods and services.
Well, Chairman,
that is not, Mr. Chairman, may I allow to speak?
The member has made a long speech. I'd like to answer. The item to which he refers is a completely different line item. He asked about operations of offices for councillors. That's the item we're on. And I responded and said funds will be provided, and I made the clarification. We've increased the allocation to the Couva Corporation for offices for their councillors. This has nothing to do with the other matter the member raised. That will be dealt with when we get to it.
Right. And I'm moving on now, members. Item 002, cemeteries. And we're on page 327, Couva South. Couva North, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Minister, line item 22, short-term employment. I'm seeing a decrease by $16,000 for the 2019 estimate. Can you care to clarify? And also, let me just quickly make the point. There are many cemeteries within the Couva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation, so I think I can advise that it would be in good order to increase short-term employment to maintain these cemeteries rather than have a decrease in funding for short-term employment.
Right. And what's the question, member?
Can the minister explain the reason for the decrease by 16,000?
Minister? Member, if it seems adequate, but if it's not adequate, environment will have to take place.
Minister, can I get your assurance that it will be done in a timely manner at least?
Member, hold on. The minister have said he has given the assurance that it will be done.
May I comment on this?
The additional comment. Hold on, no, hold on. With regards to the decrease or the increase, Minister of Finance, you want to ensure that is cleared up?
I want to clear up, Mr. Chairman. The member has said there is a decrease in short-term employment. I want to point out that in the line item for cemeteries overall, inclusive of short-term employment, whereas there's been a decrease of $16,000 in short-term employment, there has been an increase overall of $191,000, and therefore adequate funds are available for environment.
Let me just point out, Chair, that the increase he speaks about, the minister speaks about with respect to 191,000 increase, that does not go for the line item of 22, which is short-term employment. It is for other services under that unit for cemeteries.
Quite
so
true.
My specific question is about short-term employment and a decrease in allocations for short-term employment, considering the number of cemeteries that exist within the Couva Tabaki Regional Corporation.
And again, members, both Minister of Finance and Couva, not the minister, has answered the question.
The environment will be approved.
Right.
There's more than enough money.
I am moving on, members. Right. The member has thing. Is Napri in his seat? Oh, okay. Because I know he was trying to get my attention. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Couva North.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. Under line item 04, electricity, again, the 2019 estimate is 100,000. Bear in mind, the 2017 actual was 649,000. The 2018 revised estimate is 151,000. And now for the 2019 estimate, it's 100,000, a decrease by 51,000. We have many grounds within the corporation, and therefore this decreasing electricity. Minister, can you give some clarification exactly where or what is impacted by this decrease of 51,000? Buildings, grounds,
Yes,
which buildings, which grounds?
Well, the corporation should be in a position to manage the allocations. But if there's need, we have the know-it-all to via the funds. Because we're in a position, they will be in a position to have funds via. I sign environments all the time.
In a timely manner, right, Minister?
Very timely.
Thank you.
Right. I tell people that my desk is the cleanest desk in the whole ministry.
Thanks for that information, Mr.
I believe that. I believe that.
I'll hear the Minister of Finance now.
Yeah, it's true.
Mr. Chairman, when the request for environment comes, if it comes...
Let's listen in, members.
When the request for environment to the electricity item comes, if it is required to come, The decrease is 51,000, and there is $444,000 in increases available under the maintenance of buildings and grounds item. And therefore, there's 8 times the amount available for environment, and it will be approved.
Thank you. I'll move on. Item 0, Couva South.
In relation to the Minister of Finance continuing to boast about his allocations and so on
Mr.
for
Chairman,
Couva,
that should not be allowed. I didn't boast. I stated a fact.
Mr. Minister,
Mr. Chairman, please.
Could you, under maintenance of building grounds and pastures?
Minister of Finance, please. Proceed.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, no.
Yeah, I'm asking the minister, could he inform this meeting how many grounds fall under the responsibility of the Couva Tabakit Talpara Regional Corporation as relates to maintenance?
That information can be provided?
Yeah. 103 grounds.
Recreation grounds.
Right. Item 005, Local Health Authority, page 328, Couva North.
Thank you, Chair. Again, Mr. Minister, line item 22, short-term employment, a decrease by 50,000 from the revised estimate of 2018, 800,000 to now 750,000 under the 2019 estimate. Can you explain that decrease?
Minister? You want to, Minister of Finance?
We expect short-term employment to be controlled and managed by the corporation. This is an item where we have serious oversight in terms of short-term employment. It is a very small decrease, less than 10%. But the overall allocation for the local health authority has been increased by $7 million. And therefore, if 50,000 has to be found to put the short-term employment expenditure at the same level as 2018 revised, we have available to us an amount of about 50 times the requirement.
And in a timely manner.
And I want to repeat that this item has been increased by $7 million, Couva Tabakit Corporation.
We should get more.
Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. I recognize point up here.
Thank you, Chair. Minister, line item 12. This line item is maintenance of state traces and local roads, etc. It is critical to this corporation. Line item 12, materials and supplies. And I want to ask the Minister of Finance if he can help me go through the different years, because I'm seeing in the revised estimate of 2018 of $840,000 out of allocation of $5 million. Could you explain why would this figure be so low as a revised estimate in 2018 first, before I pose my other question?
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Chairman, it is very difficult for me, having been told that I should be not looking at the other columns and rows, to be now asked to look at a column and row that the opposition has been adamant I should not look at. They're telling me whole morning I mustn't look at the original 2018.
No, in your capacity as Minister of Finance.
No, but why now? All your members said don't look at that. I must look at that now? I am going to make the point, using the template insisted upon by members opposite, insisted upon to the point of getting a ruling from the chair, that there has been an increase in 2019 in this item of $1.77 million. Okay.
So the question,
I am happy to increase the allocation for materials and supplies for state traces, local roads, for Couva Tabakit in the sum of $1.77 million. I'm happy to do that.
So can I make a question? My question would be to the Minister of Local Government. In 2018, was that line item being starved and lack of funding because a lot of our roads in Pointe-a-Pierre and Couva and elsewhere were not able to be repaired because of lack of funding and materials? And so that the question I would like to ask is that, would that be rectified in 2019, given that, according to the Minister of Finance, there is an increase, well, it's not really,
Not according to me. It's what the book says.
no, the book says a 1.7 million increase.
You mean tell me not
So the
whole day?
question I would like to ask is that I hope we do not have a repeat of what happened in 2018 of lack of materials to be able to provide services to the constituents of Cuba, Pointe-a-Pierre, both Cuba North, Cuba South, Pointe-a-Pierre, Tabaquite, and environs.
Minister?
And Caroni Central.
I will ensure. I will do all in my...
Does this category apply to oil, sand, this material and supply that we get? Okay, thank you.
Right. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Minister of Finance, please. Item 005, local health authority, page 329. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. Now move on to 33, Mayaro, Rio Claro Regional Corporation. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, page 333. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc.
Yes. Is this on page 359, sir?
No, 334.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Members, we are on page 334. And we're now going to subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration, pages 334 to 335. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority, page 336. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Page 337. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies, page 337. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. We now move to 34, Separia Regional Corporation. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, page 342. Item 001, general administration. Faizabad?
On that page, I'll come down to, should I just go down the page or I'll just wait for your call?
No, you'll wait. We have to wait for me,
sure.
Please. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures, page 342. You with me, Faizabad?
Sure.
Proceed.
Chairman. Minister, I noticed a decrease of 270,000 there overall for maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Can you give an explanation? But that will impact on... All right, I'll ask it on the goods and services.
Yeah, I think you should.
Sure.
Moving on. Item 005, local health authority, page 342. Faizabad?
That expenditure of 15,600,000, can you provide in writing, for me preferably, the number of workers who will be paid by this amount and the categories of workers who are included in that allocation.
That will be provided, Minister.
Sure.
Nice. Minister. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Faizabad again.
Yeah, likewise, Minister, for under wage and salaries, that expenditure of 20,900,000, if I can have the number of workers who will be paid. If the minister has a number, or if you can provide it. Right.
Minister, that will be provided.
Provide the numbers also.
Okay. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. We are on page 343. Item 002, cemeteries. Member for Faizabad.
I was just going to ask on general administration, if you
sure, go ahead.
Me, Minister. Minister, with regards to goods and services, general administration, there's an overall decrease of 518,122,000. But I just want to ask about item 23, fees. I see there's a big decrease here of 795,428. Can you perhaps give an explanation for that?
Mr. Minister, line item 23, fees.
Yeah, there was a legal matter.
Which has been settled?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you allow me, if you look at the original for 2018 and the revised, you see the big jump from 140 to 890. So they had to move money around to deal with a legal matter. In 2018, that may not happen.
No,
it may happen.
I just wanted an explanation.
Well, I'm just clarifying for you.
Yeah, thank you, Minister.
I'm glad you're happy for the clarification.
Item 002, cemeteries.
You stop saying increase.
Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Please. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. We are on page 344. Item 005, local health authority. Faizabad.
Regards to other contracted services, under the local health authority, does this just relate to garbage collection, or does it include other services? Only garbage collection.
Local health,
Only
other
garbage
contracted
collection.
would be primarily garbage, mostly garbage.
All right.
Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead. Faizabad, you have a question there again?
Minister, about the decrease of 135,000.
Line item?
Line item 12 on the maintenance of state traces, local roads, materials and supplies.
Minister?
In view of the large number of states and local roads, state traces and local roads in the constituents, in the region.
Normal environment.
All right. Minister, member. If you look at it very carefully, you will see there's a huge increase under other contracted services of 968,000, which more than compensates for the decrease in materials and supplies. So the corporation can shift. It can shift from doing it by direct labor, where you would have materials and supplies, or contracting it out to small contractors, and they can via in between.
Sure.
So there's an overall increase of $832,000, which is more than adequate to deal with the decrease in one item of $135,000.
Thank you.
Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration, page 345. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. We'll now move on to 35, Penal Debe Regional Corporation. We are now on page 350, subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Page 351. Subhead 02, goods and services. Page 351. Item 001, general administration. Page 351. I recognize Oropuch West.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Chair. Honorable Minister, line 68, water trucking. I'm seeing there's I will say, incremental increase, about $80,000. Would that suffice, knowing that in Penal-Deba Regional Corporation, we have only one working truck, and we have to service thousands of persons?
Minister?
As I said before, I will liaise with WASA to assess, because I talked to the chairman, and as a matter of fact, we spoke at Penal-Deba concerning WASA, and I intervened at one point in time. And if there is a need for virement, we will also via funds.
Item 002, cemeteries, page 352 now. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Page 353. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. We now move to 36, Princestown Regional Corporation. We're on page 358. Subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority on page 359. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. I recognize Naparima, page 359.
Right, thank you, Chairman. I refer to 02, wages and COLA. Does that could the minister indicate what jobs are being referred to here in terms of state traces and local roads? Is this road inspectors and others?
Minister?
Road officers.
Road officers.
etc., yes.
Right. Minister, and I see a decrease of $500,000 in respect of 02, wages and COLA. And given the plethora of problems we have in Naparima, Princestown, and Moruga Tableland, with about 700 traces, endless landslips, and potholes, etc. Do you think that is justified, this decrease of $500,000 is justified? Or it?
But once it's necessary, we'll via, and you will hear me saying via all the time, because I do it all the time.
Yeah. So it is not a case of people going home or anything like that?
No.
Or not filling vacant? No. So what accounts for this 500 decrease?
Minister?
It was deemed adequate at the time. But I said, once the need arises, we will ensure that they via the funds.
Okay. Kuva South.
Thank you, Chairman. To the Minister, just a general clarification I'm looking for. Mr. Minister, you continue to use the phrase or terminology, virement of funds. When you via funds, are you suppressing expenditure in another area? Could you clarify that for me, please?
Yes, but it's based on the needs on that, and the
That means if you are suppressing expenditure in areas, you are suppressing goods and services, the delivery of goods and services to the regional corporation.
Not necessarily, but you see, I have the confidence in the local government authorities, which is the mayors, chairmen, and CEOs, and so on. And if they take it upon themselves to say they want environment, they will know best.
Chairman, as a general statement on that matter, this particular corporation, Princestown, has been increased, its allocation has been increased by $2.8 million in 2019 over the 2018 revised estimate. And in many cases, Mr. Chairman, there would be savings in particular areas because projects have not been completed in accordance with original timelines. Acquisition of equipment like vehicles has not taken place, so savings occur in a particular line item, which can then be transferred to a particular item which requires more expenditure, and that does not constitute a suppression or a starvation or any adverse action whatsoever. It involves proper management of funds, and as the minister said, we expect I don't know why the member's talking. I didn't say a word when he was talking. It involves proper management of funds, and as the minister said, he has confidence in the corporations to manage their funds efficiently, professionally, effectively, and competently. Right. So there will be no problem.
Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration, pages 359 to 360. I recognize Naparima.
Thank you, Chairman. 08, Rent, Lease, Office Accommodation and Storage, an allocation of 664,200. Is that in respect of the Hussein building in Princestown? Minister?
I think so.
08, Rent, Lease, Office Accommodation. I think it is.
I want to believe so. There's
right.
no connection with me.
Yes, I know. And if we accept that, and if we accept, no problem. My understanding is that there are challenges, and I'm just asking whether this has been drawn to your attention, challenges with respect to office accommodation, accessibility for people like the disabled persons and whatnot. And I think there have been some OSH issues with that building.
I remember, as you know, and everyone in this house know, I have a hands-on approach with all the corporations, and I'm aware of exactly what you're saying. I visit the corporation, and
you're addressing the issues.
It has been brought to my attention, and I think right now they are looking for a building.
Okay.
To rent, because it's not adequate.
Right. A follow-up, sir. At some time, there was discussion about erecting a new building. Is this at all on the tables at all? Again, an alternative complex? I don't know, I'm asking. Yeah.
It should be next fiscal year.
Next fiscal, excellent. Another question, sir. Item 46, natural disasters. An increase of 25,120. And I think, Minister, you are aware of the problems we face with flooding with Councillor Vashti Suku, Rafi Mohammed in Barakpur.
Yeah, I know.
Right,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Do you think our 120,000 is adequate to deal with the...
Head office has some funding.
Right.
And we usually assist.
Okay, accept. And item 68, water trucking. I understand that the entire vote of 420 estimate for this year will be barely enough to pay the accrued expenses for last year. And so therefore, if 420, which is an increase of 200,000, my understanding is that the figure owed is close to $400,000. Is this so? And it would mean, therefore, that they would have no money if they handle expenses from last year.
What we have been doing, trying to liaise with WASA to assist the 14 corporations if and when necessary, and it's always necessary. So I will try to...
So in the case of a shortfall, you are promising that you will get WASA to assist in the delivery?
Yes, because I've been doing that.
Okay.
Right. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority, page 361. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc.
Right.
Page 361. I recognize Naprima.
Right. 006 deals with goods and services for the maintenance of traces on local roads.
Yes, goods and services, yeah.
Right. Is the minister, given the kinds of problems we have in Ghat Road, Kunjal Road, Corial Road, Irie Branch Road, etc., 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 potholes galore, is an allocation of 2.8 million in any, which is probably the cost of a major landslip, one major landslip. Is this adequate? And what relief could, when my constituents ask about potholes and whatnot, Ghat Road, etc.?
Yeah. Mr. Minister.
Remember, I understand. I come from local government. I understand local government. And I have been around this country since I took up this office, all over this country. And I know what you are talking about firsthand. The money will never be enough. No matter what you do, it will never be enough. I get letters, phone calls every day from councillors, aldermen. What will you do?
Yeah.
We try on a daily
Minister,
basis.
I share your concern, and I know you are concerned, but I think we need to impress upon the Minister of Finance the gravity of the situation. And these are rural people, and they feel neglected. So that I trust that you will use your good offices to impress upon the Minister of Finance to be kind and responsive
Mr. Chairman,
to the urgent pleas
I have stayed out of this conversation, but my name is being continuously called and certain insinuations are being made. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, if any objective assessment is done of expenditure on roads in rural areas, such as parts of Naparima,
Ghat Road,
parts of Naparima, one would see that more than 50% of government expenditure is spent in these areas. It is wrong to insinuate otherwise. We spend millions of dollars in rural areas, more than in urban areas, in terms of road work.
Thanks for that comment.
Okay.
Is there another question?
No.
Okay, right. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures, and we are now on page 362. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. 38, Trinidad and Tobago Association of Local Government Authorities. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, page 370. Page 370. Item 001, general administration. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases, page 371. Item 001, general administration. Honorable members, we will now move on to the draft estimates of the development program. Subhead 09, development program, consolidated fund, page 98. Page 98. Item 003, economic infrastructure, pages 98 and 99. I recognize Faizabad.
Thank you, Chairman. Minister, with regards to line item 010, restoration of landslips, can you indicate whether the landslips in Moray Trace and would be included in that allocation.
Remember this, tilt your mic a little lower down here. You got the question, Mr. Minister?
Yeah. I'll check. I'll look up. We can ask a question again.
Sure. Yeah, I was wondering, Minister, whether the restoration of the landslips in Murray Trace and Namdeo Trace are included in that allocation, in that project. On the restoration of landslips, 010.
I have to provide that detailed information. I can't say exactly.
Can you?
I'll have to provide that information for you.
Information will be provided.
Right.
Supplemental. Okay, we'll now go to Kuva.
Thank you. Minister, line item 003, restoration of local bridges. I see the 2019 estimate for $3 million. Would you kindly give an undertaking to give us a list of those local bridges you intend to restore? And also the same for line item 001, restoration of local roads. An undertaking to give us a list of those local roads for $18.6 million for fiscal 2019.
Yes, you want a list.
Yes, I'll have this list provided for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me ask one more question before. Minister, line item 020, local roads and street signage programs, a new project of $7.6 million. Question, where is this program going to be taking place and when is it expected to start? Or this
in the near future, probably in the next 2 weeks, and it will all 14 corporations.
Follow up. Next question.
Point of view.
Page 99. 040, support for the automation of construction permitting process, $2 million, a new project. Could you enlighten us and elucidate what this is about, Minister, for $2 million that is supposed to be in 2019? Construction day.
Okay.
Serge would like that.
Commissioner, well, let's use the mic, please.
Well, I was okay. Thank you very much for that invitation, Mr. Chair. The intention is to allow for the application for construction permits online to avoid unnecessary red tape and travel and inconvenience and waiting in offices. This is a government-wide initiative to try and make as many applications for as many services as possible online.
It's a very good initiative. When you feel this would start, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
May I intervene?
Yeah, you could get involved.
Sorry, member for Point of Pay. You would recall that yesterday, when I spoke in my capacity as Minister of Planning and Development, I indicated that there was this new project. And you will recall that with the PAF legislation that we will be amending, that both local government and town and country planning would be working together on simple applications, which is what local government will be doing. As a consequence of this, we have this project, which is in the Ministry of Planning and Development and in local government, to deal with construction permits being done online rather than having to, and it will also involve members of local government and the town and country planning division working together to ensure that the construction permits are done in a particular way and online.
Would this
so be a change.
One platform that would share between both planning and town and
yes,
country?
Yes, it will be. And it will help us to improve the time, and it will also assist with the ease of doing business concern.
Good.
Kumutu, you have a next question? Okay, point of view.
Line item 45, Minister, implementation of local government reform, $2 million new project. Could you elucidate what this project is about?
Minister?
The ministry, remember the ministry has been in regular dialogue with the corporations to get in a state of readiness for the reform. Progress has been made in all pillars laid out in the draft policy. While we await legislative amendments, which are before the LRC, Law Revision Commission, Ministry of Legal Affairs, achievements, establishment of the volunteer network comprising civil society groups providing community services for the benefit of citizens across the country, disaster capacity building initiatives across municipalities, beginning of localization of contractor services across municipalities, increase effective municipal policing, and repairs to schools and public buildings by municipal bodies in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. So these are the few that we have started to work on before the reform actually comes in place.
You mentioned your last statement there, repairs to schools as part of this project, yeah? Has that been implemented as yet?
No.
Or was it just...
No, we have been in dialogue with the various corporations and with the Ministry of Education. Yeah, we did assist, and the schools normally assist. Generally, schools assist with the schools in the community. The corporations assist with the school in the communities. You can't refuse a school. They come and ask for whatever help, plumbing or electrical, whatever.
Kumutu Manzelina.
Thank you.
Yes, I recognize you, Caroni Central. We have a list we're going by here, order. Kumutu Manzelina.
Chair, just have a couple of questions. The first one on line item 009. Could the Honorable Minister indicate when the residents of Haendale Road will be getting their Bailey Bridge?
Oh, can you be specific yet, Mr. That particular?
Yes, I've been in talks with the member, and I'm happy to report that we have Bailey Bridge to assist different communities. We couldn't assist because there were parts that was missing, and in the last 2 weeks we have purchased the parts and so on, and we will be coming up to Kumutu Manzelina to assist you.
Thank you very much.
Next one.
Just to ask, the local road 020 local roads and street signage program. Will the minister consider at all and utilizing this line item to provide signage for roads that are considered to be required to be adopted because they are considered to be bastards, you know?
Member, I don't like that word.
No,
use a different word, please.
orphan roads, orphan. Orphan, that's the name of the thing, orphan roads.
No, but you would use before. Yeah.
Sorry, they're considered to be orphan roads.
Right, yeah.
And therefore, if a number of roads in my constituency require signage, but because they're orphan roads, they don't have that opportunity to get a signage.
Yeah.
Could I just
Well, as I said, Mr. Chairman,
I'll comment on that.
we will liaison directly with the corporations, and they are going to make the recommendations. And I know you have a good relationship with your Sandy Grande Regional Corporation, so I am sure they will make the projections to have it done.
Minister of Finance, you
I just
want
want
to
to
shed
make
some
the
light
point
here?
that if a road does not have a formal name, the residents of the road simply apply to the corporation and propose a name.
Yes.
It's taken to council, the council approves it, and henceforth that's the name of the road.
I'm familiar with the process, but there's been some problems in the past. That's why I'm asking.
Next question.
And the final question is, or a request rather, if the line item 001, 010, if the same information can be provided for my constituency as to what areas will be impacted in those line items.
With the roads?
The restoration of local roads and the landslips. If any will apply for my constituency.
Okay, well, I have to get that information.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. I'll now recognize Urupuch East.
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Minister, I just want to go back to 020 to ask one question. This is a new project, 898. You there? Yes. Just a quick clarification. This is indeed a new project. And you say local roads and street signage program. The corporations have always been erecting signs and street signs and so on pursuant to the process that the Minister of Finance indicated. What is contemplated by this new project of signage program? That's my first question. I have another one.
Remember, we're going to standardize all the street signs throughout the country. And I've discussed it with the mayors and chairmen, and they have agreed. And we are going to start this. They were very eager. It took almost 1 year to discuss this with them.
So, meaning that they'll all be one color or one size or one writing and that type of thing?
Yes, it's to standardize the writing and the plate and...
Fine.
Yeah.
International standards.
International code.
In the national code, or there's a code that... Yes. Because you know we have in the Penal Day area, Mr. Minister, you might be aware of a long-standing dispute involving the naming of the Mawasi trace. And the corporation and the court, and we have had really a long battle, and I'm hoping that somehow we can have an intervention that brings resolution to the matter.
Yeah.
My second question is on 045.
I know.
I mean, my second question is 045, just to follow up on the local government reform matter.
One second.
Sure.
1 second. We have not gone on to that. Let me just bring the record up to speed.
No, but people asked on that already.
Okay, 1 second. Item 005, multi-sectoral and other services, pages 99 to 106. Right to 106. Right? We're taking that together there. So proceed.
Yeah, sure. On the issue of the implementation of local government reform, Minister, could I ask if it is contemplated that the local government reform program will be in place before the holding of local government elections due next year, or would the government consider postponing the local government elections until the implementation of the full local government reform program that you have embarked upon? Yes, Minister, I'm not hearing you because of the noise in the front, but...
I'm not
okay, members, please.
Remember, I'm not in a position to answer the second part.
Sure.
I have no intention of reaching on that level. But what I can say is that the local government will be coming to the Parliament I feel it's before Christmas.
Okay.
It is at LRC now and should be coming.
And then we will get a good look at the elements.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Right. I'll now recognize Couva North.
Thank you, Chair. Page 104, under Couva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation, line item 286, Local Government Tourism Program. Minister, I must say I'm very disappointed that there's been no allocation for 2019 in light of 20 million going for festivals to the THA for 60,000 people. We have 150,000 people within Couva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation, and no funding allocated for local government tourism program. I'm very, very disappointed. Minister, can you give an explanation, please? Why there's no allocation?
I didn't see her coming there.
Remember, what I am being advised is that the project wasn't the feasibility study wasn't completed in time. That you're talking about the local tourism aspect of it. In Couva.
Feasibility study for all tourism programs within the
No, for that, there's one project that was selected.
Which is that project?
Was it the Cali Bay?
Yes.
Cali Bay recreational facility.
Right.
And it wasn't completed. Okay, the land matters, they say, wasn't dealt as yet, and the concept isn't completed.
Okay, so that's the reason why there's no allocation.
Yeah.
All right, okay, and one more line item, 289, Environment Enhancement and Preservation. There's been no allocation for 2019. Can I get an explanation for that, please?
289. That's it.
Minister?
Yes.
Budget will be under the green fund.
All environmental projects are under the Green Fund.
It has been shifted.
It has been shifted to the Green Fund.
Where can I find this under?
Well,
Ministry of
it's under the
Planning?
Ministry of
Okay.
Planning.
Okay, all right.
Currently central now. Member.
Thank you, Chair. 026, page 99, design of a comprehensive local area and regional development planning process. Minister, I didn't see, I don't know if the program still exists, but I didn't see anything referring to the local economic development initiative. Is that still part of local government, and how do you find the allocation?
It still is, and it definitely continuing.
But there's no line item related to it. I look through, as we look through the local government, I look for it.
What's the name of it? The
Local economic development.
Well, I'm now clarifying, member. So you're asking if it's coming under 026?
No, this line item refers to design of a comprehensive local area regional development planning process. So I am asking, since I did not see LED under any of the items listed, whether it exists, first of all, and secondly, whether it will be subsumed under this planning process.
Remember, I have to get this information to you.
Okay, so you'll send something on that?
Right. So that information will be provided in writing.
Thank you. In relation to this then, there's $1 million allocation, so that is ongoing. And we had clarification on the automation of construction 040 and the relationship between local government and planning, and in some contexts, Ministry of Industry in relation to the ease of doing business with these permits. So what we know from the information we have, Chair, is that there is some decentralization taking place in relation at least to this construction permit matter. In the 045 implementation of local government reform, based on the minister's answer, he seemed to suggest a phased process in which certain items are going to be addressed during the coming year. My question is this. First of all, can we expect a phased process of decentralization? Secondly, will the matters related that derive out of the planning and facilitation of development bill be fully executed in relation to local government? And thirdly, will the devolution part of local government reform also be included in any aspect of local government reform this year?
Mr. Chairman, could I simply ask what line item we are on?
Yeah, on line item 045, implementation of local government reform.
Okay.
You care to, right? Minister?
No problem.
No, you just want to stop me from asking the question.
No, he cannot do that, Caroni Central.
Mr. Chairman, come on, this pejorative comment,
Okay,
just
and
throw them
I have
across the
placed
floor.
it on the records, Minister of Finance.
It's so insulting.
I didn't insult. I didn't insult.
Minister, could you give a comment?
Insult you, Minister. I take your insults quietly. I don't even respond.
Mr. Chairman, he's now accusing me of insulting him when he's the insulter and I'm the insultee.
All right, members, the minister is ready. Proceed.
Some of these.
Come on, let's listen in, please. Let's listen in.
Some need legislation, and what don't need any legislation, we are trying to put them in perspective right as we speak right now. I don't know if that satisfies.
You suggested that some decentralization elements are going to be set in motion. You also said the legislation will come perhaps before Christmas. I understand that. Yeah. I meant on the implementation side, in the fiscal year 2019, are you going to be phasing in some decentralization elements and some devolution elements, or is it just decentralization elements?
We should.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I think, Mr. Chairman, I think the member is trying to anticipate the local government bill. I suggest he waits, because we can't have a debate about something that hasn't even been laid in the parliament yet, or has it first reading. He's asking questions about the legislation that is to come. So I suggest that we just wait until it comes. It's coming soon.
Mr. Minister, you said that some aspects that can be done without legislation, right? What I suggest as the chairman, you could provide that in writing. Okay. That information that does not need legislation, that you could provide it in writing to the member.
Certainly.
Right? Nice.
Okay, I would appreciate that.
Great. Urupuch West, you still have a question? Proceed.
Honorable Minister, page 105, under Penal Debit Return Corporation, line 311.
Local Roads and Bridges Program?
311, Drainage and Irrigation Program.
311. Okay,
105.
okay, I'm with you. Page 105.
Yeah.
Penal Debit Regional Corporation, and we on 311.
Honorable Minister, Drainage and Irrigation Program. Is there a commencement date for this program? And 1, and 2, if the areas have been identified, in particular the Blackwater Channel, in Woodland, the Sudama Tirat and Kuruta Trace, or the Alligator River. So.
So she's asking specifics. We don't know.
Mr. Minister?
No, I don't. Through you, Mr. Chairman, I don't have the specifics, but I could get it for you.
Okay, sure. Line 312, development of recreational facilities. If you have identified those facilities, in particular to the Bounty Trace Recreational Facility and the one at Diggity.
I don't have the detail, but I have 7 grounds.
Recreational facility?
Yes, to be upgraded.
Okay. Line 316, construction of markets and abattoirs. I just need to know where these will be located and and how many markets and abattoirs.
Barapo Market is one.
Yeah.
And the other one is the Penal Market. Penal, yes.
That is for refurbishing?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
The Barapo Market and the Penal Market.
So you're going to construct the Penal Market? Because I believe there's one already.
Pardon me? Question again?
Yeah,
if you're going to construct.
Going to construct or you're going to refurbish, because I'm seeing this line is construction, markets, and abattoirs. Because there's the Penal Market.
It's to improve. It's to improve.
So for improvement.
Yes, improvement works.
All right. And of course, the Local Roads and Bridges Program. If you perhaps you could elucidate on that, not now, or perhaps if you could give a list.
Yeah, she wanted a list for the local roads and bridges program.
Okay, you will have that list for the local roads and bridges also.
Okay.
Yes.
On page 99, line item 038, development of West Park, there was an allocation in 2018 of $5 million. Obviously, it was not utilized and there is no allocation. What is the status of this project, which is opposite the West Mall, the lands opposite the West Mall?
Which one is this? 99?
Prime real estate.
It's in progress.
I mean,
work is going on.
If you pass there, you will see construction work underway.
No, but so that therefore, but there is, I mean, guide me as to where the funding coming from for that
It's being
work.
funded by a state enterprise at this point in time, through a loan and through the IDF. UDCOT is handling. Sorry, NIDCO. NIDCO is handling it.
NIDCO is handling the development of the park.
Yeah.
And the allocation is under NIDCO.
It's NIDCO.
IDF.
It's NIDCO, right?
Yes.
Yeah, IDF.
Okay, perhaps you can guide me when we reach that stage.
Yeah. But it's under construction. If you go down there, you'll see.
Okay, well, I'm not familiar, but I just saw the line item.
I am familiar. I pass there regularly.
Okay, good. Next item is on page 101. Development of cemetery, line item 146. Chaguanas Borough Corporation.
101.
Development of cemeteries and cremation facilities. There is an allocation of 2019 estimate of $500,000. Honorable Minister, you will recall in your visit to the Lacancaria cremation site, the competition that exists between the embers of the burning corpses and the fishermen bringing out their produce, and also the retrieval of the pleasure crafts. And Honorable Minister, you would have seen that in the Felicity area, in this Kasiku area, is the greatest growth, the largest growth of pleasure crafts moorings taking place outside of San Fernando and the Chagaramas area. So clearly there is need for the relocation of the Lacancaria cemetery because there are public health considerations, there are aesthetic considerations, it provides a limit to the growth of the pleasure craft industry and the fishing industry in the Felicity area in central Trinidad. This allocation, what is this allocation of $500,000 for in the context of what I have said?
No, it's San Fernando. That's cool. I don't want cool.
Is on page 101, Chaguanas Borough Corporation, line item 146. In terms of that figure there of 500,000, in terms of the usage based on the comments that he made. Page 101, development program book.
This money was allocated. I remember visiting with you, and all what you spoke about, I saw the need for it. But this money was, upon that meeting, I had talks with the mayor, and he was going to have a consultation with the people in the area to do improvement works and so on. But this money was allocated to develop the facility to make it more user-friendly and convenient for members of the community. For example, putting fencing, road paving, and perimeter lighting, etc.
Where is that? What facility is that? Through you, Mr. Chairman.
This is 146?
Yeah. Which facility?
Felicity and Londonville.
What's that?
Felicity and Londonville. Where? Where in Londonville?
What? Cemetery Road?
Yeah, I'm familiar with both.
Felicity Cemetery, sorry.
Okay.
And Londonville Cemetery.
Okay. All right.
That's the allocation. Right, so I'll now move to Naparima. You still have a question?
Yes, two questions.
Sure, one at a time.
Page 106. And item 338, development of cemeteries and cremation facilities. I'll wait.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask for in the objective of good order, that we go corporation by corporation, because it is confusing the staff behind me, jumping from corporation to corporation. Could we go Tunapuna, Sandy Grande, and just complete and move on? I am asking as a humble request coming from me.
Again, yes, but it would mean now that each one of your member chief whip, when we identify Tunapuna or Penal, they would then have to
have different interests.
Okay, so one person have the particular. Great suggestion, Lady.
I thank you very much for that compliment, Mr. Chairman.
He didn't want me to bring up anything about Napari.
Okay.
So he has
So,
carried
okay,
us
so we
back.
on page 100.
100.
Port of Spain. Any questions on Port of Spain aspect?
Move
I would
on.
presume no.
No.
I should not presume, right? Arima Borough Corporation.
No.
Same page 100.
No.
San Fernando City Corporation. Page 100. Point up here. Question. So we on right, Minister?
Yes, sir.
Let your technocrats know. We are dealing with San Fernando. On page 100.
Page 100. Page 100, Minister. Line under San Fernando City Corporation, line item 077, development of recreation facilities. If you can provide it in writing, the $1.8 million and the particular locations that's supposed to be recreational development for 2019, you could provide that in writing. I also will go on to page 101 within San Fernando Corporation.
Sure.
Minister, if you could provide in writing at a later date, local 089 local roads and bridges program, with the identification of those areas. And also 095, the procurement of motor vehicles and equipment for $800,000. What equipment is designed or estimated to be purchased in 2019?
Right, you got that, Mr. Minister?
I have them.
All that to be provided in writing.
I have the three.
Provide that in writing.
Nice.
Yes.
We are still on page 10. You want to say something, Mr. Minister?
No, sir.
Okay. We are still on page 101, and we're going on to point 14, Borough Corporation. Any questions from the members?
Go on.
Shogunas Borough Corporation at the bottom of page 101. Questions? Tabakit?
102, let's go over 148.
148.
It's on the other page.
So we are on page 102. Shogunas Borough Corporation.
Construction of markets and abattoirs. In 2018, you allocated 3.6 million, but nothing was spent. And now you're allocating 1 million for the abattoir in Chaguanas. What is the update on the abattoir?
Abattoir update, Shogunas.
Just one second. Okay, remember, provision was increased substantially in the last fiscal allocation to facilitate payment in the amount of 1.8 to the contractor for works completed in fiscal 2016 to 2017 on the Market Roof project. This project has since been completed. The rest of the project entails installation of central AC, electrical upgrades, etc. This allocation is in line with the amounts received by other corporations for this item.
But so there's nothing for the abattoir?
No.
No.
I mean, guys, this was an RDC project. The abattoir.
But are you aware of the state of the abattoir in Chaguanas?
Yes, I visited the abattoir.
Right.
Next question.
Item 156.
156.
Municipal police equipment.
Still on Shogunas.
Yeah. I see $1 million is allocated there. Mr. Minister, a couple of weeks ago, and even up to last week, the police were refusing to work because they said they had no guns. Are you aware whether they have now gotten their guns and whether they'll be out on the street like?
They received the funding for what you're inquiring about.
For the guns?
Yes.
So they'll be able now to go out and do the work?
According to what I've been told told here.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Couva North.
Thank you, Chair. Minister, line item 408, establishment of a tourism park. I see no allocation again for Shoguana's Borough 2019. Can you clarify?
I can go ahead and read it.
Minister.
Honorable Member, I'll have to provide you with the information.
Sure.
Based on my advice.
Okay, thank you.
Right, I'm moving from Chaguanas now. I'm going on to Diego Martin Regional Corporation, same page 102. San Juan Laventil Regional Corporation.
Good, okay.
Now to page 103, Tunapuna Piaco Regional Corporation. Not allowed any questions today. Sandy Grande Regional Corporation, and I know Kumuto Manzelina will furnish us with some questions here. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Minister, just line item 242, what type of equipment you hope to procure for the corporation that is so badly needed?
241?
242.
Sandy, 242. Procurement of motor vehicles and equipment.
Okay, Honorable Member, you were inquiring earlier about our water, and this is the purchase of water tender.
Okay, all right. Line item 233. Minister, I don't want to go through it again, so we're just going to call it 233, 234, and 240. If you can identify what programs are in place in my constituency, please, instead of going through the whole process.
Right, so you will provide that in writing, Mr. Minister?
Sure.
Thank you.
Right, assurance given. We now move across to page 104, and we are coming down to Couva Tabakit Talparo Regional Corporation, and I recognize Couva South.
Thank you, Chairman. Minister, there was in 2018 an estimate of 14,400,000, and the revised estimate.
Give me a line item, please.
I'm dealing with the overall allocation.
Overall allocation. Proceed.
Yeah. And it was revised to 12,350,000. In 2019, there's an allocation of an estimated allocation of 16,500,000. Mr. Minister, will this be upheld in terms of the allocation for the fiscal year, or will it be reduced?
In terms of the question,
I'll answer that.
Okay.
Based on what I've
seen,
seen,
the Minister of Finance will answer.
The revised estimate for
I got the question.
because the minister kept boasting about increases to the Couva Tabakit Talparo Regional
The Minister of Finance
Corporation.
will provide a comment to an answer.
Minister, member for Couva South, I got the question the first time, you know.
I know you are very attentive, gentlemen.
Yeah, but you don't have to repeat it 3 times. Every effort will be made to disburse the entire allocation.
Well,
it all depends on availability of funds, tax collections, revenue collection.
And it is important to underline that, because
but every effort will be made to disperse the entire allocation to all 14 corporations in 2019.
For your response.
Chair, Minister, and under Couva Tabakit Talparo Corporation, line item 261, could you provide a listing of the recreation facilities for the 1.8 million budgeted 2019? Please. Also, line item 262 for $500,000, which is the cemeteries and cremation facilities. Line item 263, Minister. Could you explain this line item, please, because 632 was expended in 2018, and then 100,000 is budgeted for 2019. Local Government Public Conveniences Program. Could you just enlighten me what this program is about? Line item 263.
Right. Just before you answer, Mr. Minister, on that one, assurances are being provided for the other 2 line items to be provided in writing.
In writing.
Nice.
Sure.
Okay, so you can now proceed to 263, if you have an answer now.
The corporation plans to upgrade and provide functional amenities to the members of public by constructing a facility in Gasparillo.
In Gasparillo. So has this public facility been constructed already in 2018 or it started? Because the over 600,000 was expended.
That's for some other project.
That's on it.
2019, that is what we do.
This is for this fiscal year, 2019. In Gasparillo.
What restrooms?
Yeah.
What part of Gasparillo?
Public.
Why Gasparillo? Not against the member for that.
Remember
it's a literal question?
Yeah, no.
The corporation, sorry.
Is why Gasparillo a literal question?
No. That's just a comment I was just making.
So where are we now?
Yeah,
the minister.
Remember the corporation requested it to be done in Gasparillo.
Okay.
All right, so we are now moving to Mayaro, Rio Claro Regional Corporation. And I'll recognize the member for Mayaro, and we're on page 104 to the bottom.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Minister, line item 365, in terms of the reduction in funding for disaster preparedness, taking into consideration we had 2 massive flooding, which you did tour with me last year, and the fact that, we are susceptible to the adverse weather conditions on the East Coast there. Why it is we had this reduction in that disaster preparedness funding, that allocation? Line 365, page 105.
Read the additional notes.
Does this matter?
Yeah.
Minister?
Yeah, I am.
The flood early warning system that we're working on.
Remember we are working right now on the corporation that most of the flood-prone areas in South, in regard to the flood early warning system, because we having this thing now, the flood early warning system is a new initiative, and this will be done in Mayaro and Princestown, Penal DB, which are these areas are the most flood-prone areas. Mayaro, Princestown, Penal DB.
This allocation is for technology, or is it for an assessment or something, in terms of the early warning system?
Technology.
Okay.
I heard the technocrat. I didn't quite heard you, Mr. Minister.
Yes, technology. I am.
Okay.
Nice.
No problem.
And last question, Minister,
Mayaro,
line item 376, construction of public conveniences. It's an allocation for $200,000. Any indication of where these conveniences are going to be erected?
I could find out and let you know to construct washroom and toilet facilities, and that was requested by the Mayaro Corporation.
Okay. Thank you.
Right, we remain on 105, Siparia Regional Corporation. I recognize Faizabad.
Questions. The first would refer to line items 296 to 301. In the interest of time and for convenience, if I can have in writing a listing of all the projects that will be covered by these line items for the allocations.
296?
296 straight to 301.
296 to 301.
Yeah, 296, 297, 298, 299, 300, and 301.
That will be provided in writing, Mr. Minister?
I'll
provide it in writing.
Sure.
Next question.
Second question would be with regards to line item 303, procurement of motor vehicles and equipment for the expenditure of $800,000. Do we have an idea of what the equipment is will be purchased under that line item?
No, I'll have to get it from the corporation because they requested it and
to be provided.
Yes.
To be provided. And the last one would be the construction of 320, construction of a performance arts and culture building. I see no allocation in 2019. Can you indicate what is the status of that project? Has it been completed or?
I can read it.
Mr. Minister?
Yes. The justification wasn't completed, but it will be done this fiscal year. Yeah. Well, once they provide all the information and so on, it will be done this fiscal year.
So the project hasn't been started yet?
No.
All right, but it hasn't been abandoned?
No, no.
Thank you.
Okay, members, we now go to page 106, Princestown Regional Corporation. I recognize Naparima.
Thank you. Chairman, I have two questions. The first one relates to item 338, development of cemeteries and cemetery facilities, an allocation of $500,000. And I'm asking the minister if this relates to this allocation, if it relates to the Irie Village Cemetery, which I understand it has been plagued by landslips, and in fact the cemetery part of it has slipped, and therefore it is closed. And is there a case of a replacement or rehabilitation of the Irie Village Cemetery?
Okay, remember the council will have to decide where they want to spend the funds. But I know they got it, and I have something here, but I don't want to read it out, and I'm not sure about.
Okay.
Right, I'll have to get it directly from the chair.
But the matter is receiving attention.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much, Minister.
Definitely.
And the 339 local roads and bridges, 4 million. This is for all secondary roads in Maruga Tableland, Naparima, and in Princestown. And the general question, and then a specific question. General question, if the minister feels that 4 million is adequate, given the fact that I was told, and I want to make it abundantly clear, I'm not jealous, and I'm saying that Tobago should get less. But Tobago was allocated $25 million for this, for local roads and bridges. And this, us and the entirety of the Princestown Regional Corporation has been given 1/6 that allocation. Yeah. So that is the first.
If the amount is enough.
Is the amount enough and justified? Particularly in the context of the Minister of Finance statement that there's equity that we get in Naparima with the other areas of Trinidad and Tobago. A view which I disagree with profoundly.
Okay. Is that amount enough, Mr. Minister, in terms of for that?
But if this amount is not enough, we have the entity which is the RDC, which deals with rural development, and we'll be able to assess, as you know.
All right, and the second question, are Courier Road, Minister, if you could make available the list of roads that will be handled by this, and I'm particularly interested in Courier Road, Irie Branch Road, Reese Road, Lengua Road, Jai Paul Singh Trace, and Papuri Road.
Right.
Well, I'll have to get the list from the corporation and to provide you with it.
Thank you.
Sure. Member for Princestown.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Chairman. Honourable Minister, I'm on line item 340 under the Princestown Regional Corporation, which deals with local government building program and allocation in 2019, an estimate of 300,000. Can the Honourable Minister indicate pretty much what this particular allocation will be used for under local government building program, please?
Mr. Minister.
340?
Yes.
Yes.
This is for the police post.
And this police post, Honourable Minister, will be housed at the Princestown Regional Corporation?
No, separate.
It's a different location.
Yes. I visited the police post as away from the, forget the name of the street, away from by the transport yard, sorry.
Okay.
By the transport yard is, as you enter the transport yard, is the building on the left. Is under construction right now.
Sure. Minister, do you expect with this allocation of 300,000 that project will be completed, or do you expect that it will roll over into the next financial year?
Yes, this should help. This should be adequate.
Adequate to complete the project.
Yeah, once it's managed properly and so on.
Sure. Minister, I was happy that you raised the issue that this is for the police post, because I want to move to line item 404, municipal police equipment, an allocation of 500,000. The question that I really have flows from the answer you gave for line item 340, going into 404, which is the establishment of the police post, and now we are seeing equipment, a vote providing for equipment for the municipal police. As you're aware, Minister, over 100 officers were promised 2 years ago. Princetown Regional Corporation has 6 officers at this time, the least among all regional corporations in the country. Could the Honourable Minister indicate whether with this vote in municipal police equipment, how many officers will benefit from this particular vote in terms of being equipped? Is there any plan to increase the capacity to utilize this particular vote?
Remember, you are not singular in this. You have other corporations have less police than 6. And but
okay, one person answering, please. One person answering.
But you know, we the government took a initiative to have the 1,400 police in each 100 in each corporation, 200 in Port of Spain. The first batch will be passing out in early December, and I think it's around 200 officers. Our next batch will be starting in February, sorry.
May I come in here, Mr. Chairman?
Minister, you're completed, Mr. Minister?
Yes.
Right.
Being the line minister for the Statutory Authorities Commission, the chairman has been in regular contact with me because the Statutory Authorities Commission is doing the 4 boroughs, 2 boroughs, 2 cities. And the Public Service Commission is doing the 10 corporations. And they're working in tandem. So I do know that they are almost to the end of completing the training and so on for about 200 officers. Right now they need uniforms, which is something that was raised with me last week, and we're going to deal with it. So I think within the next couple of months, there will be 200 additional municipal corporation police officers to be disbursed and spread among the 14 corporations.
Princetown, follow-up question or additional?
Follow-up. Based on the answer given by the Minister of Finance, Honourable Minister of Local Government, it will then indicate to me that based on the 200 figure provided, if 200 officers pass out by January, we will still be nowhere closer to 100 officers per municipal corporation to utilize this particular vote. Am I right or am I wrong?
We'll be closer there.
With 200 officers, Honourable Minister, in 14 corporations.
Can I just come in again? It's quite a laborious exercise to invite applications, do a short list, do a background check in terms of a character reference, police record, and so on, then interview, then shortlist, then train, and then equip it. It's taking a long time. It's not a simple matter. You're talking about 1,400 police officers. When you think about the current strength of the police service being about 6,000 or 7,000, this is a huge amount of police officers. It's not something that can be done in 1 year. It is just not physically possible. But with these 200, this will go a long way to dealing with the current situation.
Okay. Members, Penal Debe Regional Corporation. Infrastructure Development Fund, page 204 of the same booklet. Item 003, Economic Infrastructure, pages 201 to 205. Question, point of view.
Chair. Minister, line item 001, page 204, construction of an integrated fishing port for Moruga. Has that project been completed, or is it 100% completed? Because there's no allocation in 2019. And only a small amount was utilized in 2018 of just over $600,000. Has that port been completed and operationalized?
I remember this project has been transferred to the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Okay. Next question.
Proceed.
Page 205, line item 007, upgrade of community infrastructure 003, development of rural communities. $56 million is budgeted for 2019. 2.2 was the revised figure for 2018, out of an estimate of 15 million. Could you indicate what's supposed to happen for $56 million in 2019 in development of rural communities, and what communities are these targeted?
Can you provide that information now, Mr. Minister?
Yeah, I have a long list.
Yeah, but you could provide it in writing.
Yeah, I have a long...
So it will be provided in writing?
Yes.
Right.
And my last question, 010, which is a new project, latrine eradication program, 2.6 million for 2019. Could you enlighten us a bit about this program and the locations of this project?
This is
Minister of Finance.
What page are you on?
We on page 205.
Okay.
This will affect 3 corporations: Mayaro, Rio Claro, Samuel Avantil, and Port of Spain Corporation. It's the first phase. The money was allocated, and head office will assist corporations to deal with this project.
But in a simple way, elucidate, what is supposed to already happen, that you go into the particular private homes of individuals and try to upgrade their facilities as well?
Well, this has been in progress in Port of Spain for many, many years. It's common in communities, unplanned communities, where people live very close to each other, on top of each other, where when the houses were built, they did not install septic tanks and soakaways, and there's no access to a sewer system. In Port of Spain, they've been quite successful in removing the latrines or replacing them with septic tank and soakaway systems. And this is what this is all about. Yes, you go into the private homes and you assist them. The government pays for it to replace their latrine with a septic tank and soakaway system.
You okay, point up here? Yes. Princess Town? You're fine. Item 004, social infrastructure, 205 to 206. Item 005, multi-sectoral and other services, page 206, Princess Town.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Chair. Honorable Minister, line item 060, construction of administrative complexes. Here we have listed in 2019 an estimate of 40 million. As you're aware, the Princeton Regional Corporation's building has been condemned, yet the corporation continues to occupy the building despite having failed OSHA twice. I think that is a serious indictment on the ministry to allow the corporation to continue without finding alternative accommodation for them. Can the Honourable Minister indicate through this line item whether the Princeton Regional Corporation will be constructed or relocated?
But this, Honourable Member, this item here has to do with the penal DB administrative complex and the Diego Martin administrative complex. I have been liaising with the chairman of the Princeton Corporation, and when I visited there for the last statutory meeting, I saw the need for a new complex, but it depends on the funding and so on receiving. I advise them to look for property to rent, and they were looking, and the last conversation I had was a couple of weeks ago. They said they found somewhere, but it was in a basement, and it wasn't accessible to the public and so on, somewhere on the main road in Princeton. So I will continue to liaise with them to ensure, but there's definitely need for a complex, because the place is not adequate and it's not safe, user-friendly and so on. But
thank you, Honourable Minister, for the answer. I'm quite happy to hear your assurance that the Princeton Regional Corporation will get assistance in terms of moving out of that sick, failed OSHA building twice in this financial year.
Thank you,
thank you for that assurance.
Yes.
You okay? No? Okay. Honourable members, the question is that the sum of $2,283,348,980 for Head 42, Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $2,283,348,980 for Head 42, Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Yes,
Thank you, Madam PS, and your senior members of the ministry. Thanks for coming.
That'll be important.
Yes, members, we'll now break for lunch. We'll resume at 2:30.